Nazis vanished without a trace, but they tell of their defeat in 45. They all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. They say the prisoner of Spandau was a symbol of defeat. Whilst Hess remained in prison, then the fascists they would beat. So the promise of an Aryan world would never materialize. So why did they all come out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died? The world is riddled with maggots. The maggots are getting fat. They're making a tasty meal of all the bosses and bureaucrats. They're taking over the boardrooms and they're fat and full of pride. And they all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. So if you meet with these historians, I'll tell you what to say. Tell them that the Nazis never really went away. They're out there burning houses down and peddling racist lies. And we'll never rest again until every Nazi dies.
Woke up one morning and there were soldiers. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Woke up one morning and there were soldiers. The invasion had begun. Lend me your shoulder, we'll stand together. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Lend me your shoulder, we'll stand together. But I feel my time has come, and if I die here for the resistance, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. And if I die here for the resistance, you must lay me in my grave among the flowers upon the mountain. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Among the flowers upon the mountain, let me rest among the brave. Someday the people will pick the flowers. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Someday the people will pick the flowers, and they will remember my name. This is the flower of the resistance. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. This is the flower of the resistance, and those who died for liberty. This is the flower of the resistance. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. This is the flower of the resistance, and those who died for liberty. This is the flower of our resistance, and those who died for liberty.
Come all of you good workers, good news to you I'll tell, of how the good old Union has come in here to dwell.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
My daddy was a miner and I'm a miner's son, and I'll stick with the Union till every battle's won.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
They say in Harlan County there are no neutrals there. You'll either be a Union man or a thug for J.H. Blair.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Oh, workers, can you stand it? Oh, tell me how you can. Will you be a lousy scab or will you be a man?
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Don't scab for the bosses, don't listen to their lies. Us poor folks haven't got a chance unless we organize.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
I was born in a Dublin street where the lion runs do be, and the modelling English people walked all over us. And every single night when they would come home tight, he'd invite the neighbours out with his chorus. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like Galloway, from the green and lovely lace of Gilshandra. Come tell us how you slew them old Arabs 2 by 2. Like the Zulus, they had knives, bows and arrows. Of how brave you faced one with your 16-pounder gun, and you frightened all the natives to the marrow. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like Galloway, from the green and lovely lakes of Gilshandra. Come let us hear you tell how you stand the brave Parnell, and taught them well and truly persecuted. Where are the stares and jeers that you proudly let us hear, when our heroes of 16 were executed? Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like Galloway, from the green and lovely lakes of Gilshandra.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch all with the wicked witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch all with the wicked witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead.
Oh, come out, you pretty sons, come out and fight without your guns. Show your wife how you won medals up in Derry. You murdered 16 men and you'll do the same again. So get out of here and take your bloody army. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like Galloway, from the green and lovely lakes of Gilshandra. Oh, come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like Galloway, from the green and lovely lakes of Gilshandra.
Buckingham Palace announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Do that again. I didn't understand you that time. Take it easy. Yes, yes, Mr. Hiller. Hiller's done.
Hello! How are we all? Are we well? I do hope so. Yes, how are we getting on? I now want an anime where Ireland gains its independence through car racing. What the fuck is that about? I don't fucking know what's going on there. Anyway, hello there everybody, how are we all? I was going to get on a bit earlier and then do a football stream after, but Birmingham City scored 4 goals in one game, and that had to be celebrated. That's never going to happen again, probably, so... yeah, we won 4-0 at home to Portsmouth. Get the fuck in. Massive dubs in chat. Dubs.
Epic dub.
Quite so. Yeah. So I went and had a few beverages, and I watched the Chelsea first half of Chelsea game. It's lovely. Yeah. Anyway, so now I'm here. Get used to it, because I am in fact here. How are we all, chat? Are we well? I hope so. So a dead fascist got fingered. Probably, I think. What are you talking about? Reeling from Pompey's defeat to City. Well, yeah, I get that. I get that. This is why staring at the sun will make you blind. Yeah, that is true. Birmingham City are a weird team in that I imagine it doesn't feel good to lose to us. Especially 4-0. Because like even with 4-0 after only 11 games or whatever of the season, that puts us on a goal difference of 0. We're 11th, we're only 4 points from the playoffs, nice stuff, but 0. We have a goal difference of nothing after a 4-0 win. Let that sink in. Anyway. Probably a good thing. I would have given you the business if the result went the other way. Well, exactly, yeah, that's football for you, you know. Yeah, but I'll probably do a football stream tomorrow at some point. I don't know what games are on tomorrow, but there's always something fucking delicious taking place. Dundee didn't do Celtic a favour, 4-0 Hearts. Well, yeah, but that's going to happen. Hearts are clearly a pretty decent team. I don't think you're going to expect them to drop points at home to Dundee. No offence to Dundee, but, you know. Just seeing the continued struggles of Rangers is hilarious. Fuck off, Lee. Just fuck off. Don't. Just don't.
Shut the fuck up, you parasite.
I don't even know what the parasite isn't even really relevant. And also, when any of you fucking have a dig, right? When any of you insult me by comparing me to fucking Jeremy Beadle or something.
You just assaulted me.
Boom. Sounds. Let's go. Don't worry, we never win at Anfield. Oh, you're actually a Villa fan as well. Oh, God, who the fuck let you in? Oh. Mods. Literally ban him. I'm only joking. Assaulted meat. No, assaulted me.
You just assaulted me.
You just assaulted me. I lost a €50 note in the supermarket today. Well, that's what you get. That's what you get for using improper currency. The only thing that's true is the Great British Pound. And I should say, it is now November, everyone. So for the entirety of this month, I will look any good patriotic British man. I will be wearing nothing but a massive poppy on my dick. Now, of course, the woke brigade at Twitch and YouTube, with their TOS, their terms of socialism, force me to wear other clothing. But outside of this, that's all I'll be wearing. Just a poppy. And rightly fucking so. What am I talking about? Where is your popper? You on my dick. Just told you. Absolute poppycock. Love it. Da-dum-ts. I need one of them, don't I?
Rats!
Not relevant. Doesn't matter. Yes. Anyway. Right. Adam and Eve, if Adam was a real British patriot. True! Fucking true. Yes, pinned. Pinned through my dick. A Prince Albert of patriotism. I'm only playing. Actually, it was one of the things that annoyed me about the football today. They did a fucking, one of these fucking blowjob for the fucking troops things. Now look, I'll always stand for an old bloke. You get one of them old boys in a fucking, in the old uniforms and that. Because those motherfuckers, they stormed beaches and shit, right? They went and killed fascists. I'm all for it. I'll fucking salute one of them. These younger ones, if you're 40, 50, 30, whatever, and you're a fucking British service vet, like, what the fuck, what was the best you did for this country, exactly? Torture some Iraqis in a fucking prison? Blow up some fucking Afghan babby? Get fucked, am I saluting you cunts? You gotta stand for the troops. Fuck off, have I, cunts. You're having a fucking laugh. Got some dirty looks because I wouldn't fucking stand and applaud them. Fuck off, man. You mugs. If you want to clap imperialism, that's on you. Yeah, the Falklands. Yeah, they killed some fucking... They killed some Argentine kid. Brilliant. Well done, you murdered an Argentine conscript. You should feel... Yeah, thank you for your service. Fuck off. Anyway. Chat, if you wish to thank me for my service in the meme wars, you can hit the follow button. You can subscribe. You can subscribe with Amazon Prime. You can gift subs to the community. You can do bits messages, 200 bits or more will give you a text-to-speech. You can do super chats via the Streamlabs link below. $2 or more will give you a text-to-speech. I've got Patreon and PayPal. I've got Blue Sky, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Threads, all that shite. Yeah, if you're on YouTube, hello YouTube. You can hit the like button. You can subscribe. You can hit the bell icon to get notified. You can do super chats, which get read out as well now. And what else? You can become a member for 99p and give memberships to the community. These are all things that are indeed true. Also, I did put out a clip on the YouTubes from the stream the other day with no justice of the MTGs. Which I'll pop a link into the chat and you can all go and check that out and all of that jazz. 1 second, everybody. Apologies. Yeah, go and click on the link, thumb the video up, leave a nice comment, or leave a shit comment. I don't really care. Just leave a comment, I think. Eventually, I'm going to Photoshop you as the Yankee Tanky.
You just assaulted me.
Are you happy? Very low. What's the thing I'm doing here? Hang on a minute. Oh yes. So that was with No Justice MTG. Tomorrow, No Justice MTG is not around for our regularly scheduled award-winning journalism with Laura Kay, but we've got the No Justice MTG replacement bus service, which is Curtis Daly from Turn Left will be with us. Yeah. we've got a replacement bus service. Which, like, if we just nationalised No Justice MTG, we wouldn't need a replacement bus service. Really. It's the Tories. They shouldn't have privatised her in the first place. That's what I say. Is that Hugh Anthony? That is Hugh Anthony, yes. Or, as I like to talk about him...
Shut the fuck up, you parasite.
Honestly, W's in chat for that guy's dad yesterday. Fuck yes. Oh, absolutely delightful. Anyway, so we'll be on with Curtis at 6 PM UK time, which is 1 PM on the east coast of America, or 7 PM if you're in Central Europe. You work out your own time zones from there, basically. Anywho... We talked a lot, did we not, last week or the week before, whenever it was, about the woke flags, the woke football flags. We had a lot of fun with them. Some particular favourites were Demba Ba says up the Ra, amazing. Taking gender affirming hormones with John Stones, and then there was the trans pride flag with in your town confusing your stewards. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful stuff. And much as I wanted Zach Polanski to see my face shot of my face thing, the picture I put together for the thumbnail for the video yesterday, where I put his face on the body of the the Uber Chad thing, or the Giga Chad meme. I wanted Zach Polanski to see all of the doing a key with Zach Polanski type things. But you think he's like a politician, but that's probably not going to be like a thing that happens, surely. Oh, for fuck! Why does it do? Stop being fucking mental and shit, you cunts! Oh, I fucking hate the world and I want to die. Anyway, here he is, the boy, the man, the myth, the legend. What the fuck is that in his hand? What the hang on, I don't know who that is. Oh! Zachary! Fuck yes, mate! Zach Polanski is very much aware of the woke flags. Fuck yes. Let's go! On the charge with Zach Polanski, Newcastle United, and there's a trans thing as well. Fuck yes. He knows! He knows!
Epic dub.
And yes, I am very much feeling the Birmingham City Pride tonight. Absolutely beautiful. But on the other side of things, I do have to feel sorry for this lad. Yes, the United strand. The young lad who's growing his hair until Man United win 5 games in a row. They went into today's game away at Nottingham Forest on a 3-game winning streak. Could they win a 4th? No, they threw away a 1-0 lead in 2 second-half minutes and drew 2 apiece. Absolute minge bags. This man is never cutting his hair. He will die the hairiest human being that ever lived.
My predictions for this week are Man United to make it 4 in a row with a 2-1 win against Forest. Arsenal.
Get the fuck, they came up with me, all these mutants.
The hair's never happening. You're just gonna have to live with it forever and ever and ever. The clock resets to 0. Fucking. Although, what you gotta say, Sean Dyche, a man very much styled after my own look. Utter walk nonsense. I don't know how I've made him northern there, but I like the voice. Anyway, he does a good job, doesn't he? Because Notts Forest have been fucking dreadful, and all of a sudden they're fucking scoring worldies. What the fuck? Why? People who do fireworks can actually fucking jog on. Who's doing fireworks? Who's impressed or gives a shit about fireworks? Look, once you've seen one fireworks display, you've seen all of the displays that they're ever going to happen. All you're doing is scaring people's dogs and cats and keeping people awake who've got to get up in the fucking morning. To be fair, Rory Katz was never that bothered. He occasionally got a bit antsy if they were quite close, like if it was one of the local neighbours, and he'd go and hide. There's downstairs the table in the living room. There's like that much of a gap between the seats and the thing, and he was nice and safe in there. But other than that, he didn't really give a fuck. But I know lots of other people whose dogs just fucking bark all the time because they're really fucking terrified. They don't know what's going on. Like, just fucking stop. Like, you clearly aren't doing this because you care about the salvation of Prince James or whatever. The preservation of the Houses of Commons. Like, you don't give a fuck about any of that. You're just wankers who like the big explosion. Fucking divs. Fucking silly. Silly bollocks, man. Anyway, this lad's never cutting his hair, that's the point. Right. Couple of things from the Discord we've got for tonight's delectation, if you will. Thank you, Operation Emma, for raiding in. Hello, operationers. Hello. I'm Kevin Logan. You can hit the follow button. It's free and sexy. Yeah, we've got some American-related content. What is this nonsense? San Diego Fireworks 2012. No, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Anyway, an old friend of the channel, who we haven't talked to or about or watched for ages, Non-Compete, who's an American, but don't hold that against them, who lives in Vietnam, I believe. Anyway, talking about stuff and that. Oh, it's Operator Emma. Sorry, not Operation Emma.
It stimulates the part of the brain called Shatner's bassoon.
Fact.
This is Graham Plattner, an oyster farmer and military veteran who entered the Senate race in Maine as a relatively unknown Democrat.
I'm not afraid to name an enemy, and the enemy is the oligarchy.
His ability to directly confront...
He sounds like American Sean Dyche.
America's oligarchy in a straightforward, down-to-earth manner quickly propelled him to national prominence, positioning Plattner as a major icon of America's progressive left, alongside such figures as Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in a matter of just a few months. Over the last couple of weeks, however, Plattner's fortunes have shifted dramatically.
It's been a hell of a week. I went from being a communist on Thursday to a Nazi on Monday.
His campaign has been derailed by a sudden cascade of damaging revelations about his past. And these controversies
Indeed, this is the guy with the SS tattoo, yeah. Non-compete turned me off anarchism. Why so, John the Brazen? What was it about his content that turned you off that? Which fallen? I do not agree with the wars we fought in. Why should I respect those that killed innocent people? Just one truth, that was quite literally the point I was making. I don't know if you're behind on the stream and are only just now listening to what I said earlier, but that's, yeah. I refuse to. Because he lost his debate so badly to Vosh. Okay. Dear friends, don't take internet stuff that seriously. The fact that any one person, quote-unquote, lost a debate on the internet should no more reflect on your opinions on political philosophies than a pigeon pecking at a fucking chessboard or something. Like, it's nothing. Don't get me wrong. The free marketplace of ideas is an interesting, like, place to learn different things and to learn of different perspectives. But the fact that a person lost a debate to another person on the internet shouldn't turn you off anything. Like, you need to learn from reading and living and observing the world around you. Don't get caught up in internet personality bullshit. It doesn't help you, and it doesn't help anyone else. We need to get away from cult of personality type thinking. Learn to think for yourselves. You're all individuals. Yes, you're all individuals.
I'm not.
Oh, I did a joke on Sincerity Cam. Okay, cut that last bit. I hope you don't feel personally attacked by that, but like... He proved he didn't know what he was talking about. But John, that's the point, right? That's the point. Non-compete not knowing the answers to things doesn't mean that anarchism is wrong. In the same way that a fascist not knowing the answers to things doesn't make fascism wrong. Fascism is wrong and is provably fucking evil and all the rest of it. But not because a fascist isn't good at political point scoring online. I feel personally attacked. Please don't. It's not intended as such. This applies to literally fucking everybody. And we all get involved in this. We can all be a little bit internet brained at times. Learn from the world around you. Read, not just theory, but read about people's experiences of how different political systems have operated, about theories about how they can operate and be improved upon. Don't take the words of internet people, even good internet people. Look, I consider myself to be a person who cares. Genuinely. I'm not necessarily an expert, but I care. And I'll give you the answers that I think are correct, and when I don't know something, I'll just say I don't fucking know it. But don't take what I say as anything gospel. Don't take the words of any individual as gospel. Don't think that some internet debate is the be-all and end-all of anything. It isn't. It's entertainment. It can be informational, it can be educational, but it's entertainment. Well, internet anarchism is not anarchism. Just like internet socialism is not socialism, internet conservatism is not conservatism. The real world is what matters. The internet, whilst increasingly becoming a part of the real world, is not the real world, and thus matters a great deal less. I didn't want to get into this, in all honesty. It's depressing. It's a little bit depressing. But there we go. Anyway, right. I'll tell you what's not depressing. A cute cat. This made me laugh today. He's still learning the controls. Oh, bless. Oh, see, that's not depressing. That's fucking awesome. Anyway, Nazis are quite depressing though, I guess.
currently defining his campaign and calling into question Plattner's true intentions as a political candidate. To begin with, Plattner's personal narrative about his military service doesn't exactly add up. His claims that he opposed America's imperialist wars are contradicted by the fact that he voluntarily signed up for not just 1, but 4 combat tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, including a stint as a guard at the infamous prison camp at Abu Ghraib. And
really? Oh shit, I didn't even know that bit.
Tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, including...
Later, while on patrol at Abu Ghraib, there was an attack on the prison. It was nearly 2 years after human rights abuses were first found at the prison. Plattner was not involved. That was the first real taste of combat, he said. It was an odd juxtaposition discussing Plattner's experience in the Iraq War while looking at the islands of Frenchman Bay. I loved infantry combat, he said. It was like the kind of high-stakes game where everything you do matters. America. This is the left, is it? This creature is your left wing. Oh, we do like otters.
First, they were just curious, but then their instincts kicked in. They began chasing, catching, and eating the fish on their own.
No, I mean that's murder. That's fish murder. You're murdering fish, you fucking monsters.
A stint as a guard at the infamous prison camp at Abu Ghraib, and he followed these combat tours by signing on as a security contractor for the notorious mercenary corporation Blackwater, now rebranded as Constellus. Plattner served as a Blackwater mercenary as recently as 2018.
2018? That's 7 years ago. I'm sorry, you can't... Fuck me. You can't be like... You can't... You can't claim to have opposed America's illegal imperialist wars and then be in fucking Blackwater, what, just before COVID? Nah, get wrecked, mate. You're done. You're done.
Shut the fuck up, you parasite.
On top of that, Plattner's old deleted Reddit posts have recently resurfaced, and many of them are being interpreted as racist or misogynistic, leading to questions about his present-day positions. And now, just a few days ago, Plattner's revealed that for 20 years he had a Nazi Totenkopf tattoo on his...
Let he be who is without sin cast the first stone, okay? Who amongst us can't say that we've had decades-long Nazi tattoos, really, when you think about it? You know? Come on now. We've all been there. Fuck hell. I don't know why, but that's made me think of the Stuttgart Stadium, which from 1933 till 1945 was called the Adolf Hitler Sports Stadium. They covered that tattoo up as well. They just changed the name. They don't tend to advertise that bit very much in the Stuttgart Museum.
his chest. He claims that the tattoo was an ignorant mistake and he has had it covered up, but you have to admit it stretches credulity that someone could have spent 20 years in the military without ever once realizing that the tattoo on his chest is a Nazi SS symbol.
It was probably a different Adolf Hitler. Yeah, unfortunate, yeah.
The controversies have piled up so quickly that they now define Plattner's Senate campaign, forcing him to dedicate significant time and resources to defending his personal character.
I am deeply sorry.
And of course, predictably, this has led to a firestorm of online discourse, with prominent leftist influencers rushing in to either condemn or defend Plattner as an individual and as a candidate. Those who defend Plattner claim that the attacks against him constitute a resurgence of cancel culture and purity testing, which divide the left and pave the way for MAGA's resurgence in last year's election. Bernie Sanders dismissed the Nazi tattoo as a relic from a dark period in Plattner's life.
I'm not overly impressed by a squad of media running around saying, "What do you think about the tattoo on Grand Plattner's chest?"
Emma Vigeland of the
Well, as we found out yesterday, fucking prickface Bernie literally fucking praised Trump about the border. So, like, I don't even give a fuck. If he's just going to come up with, like, I'll take after I'll take, boom! Yeah. Like, I don't care.
Majority Report tweeted out in defense of Plattner how many people get tattoos that they thought looked cool but didn't understand the meaning of. How many vets took mercenary work for a period because the U.S.
Oh, look at my left wing, dog. Oh. Oh. Oh, I don't like it here. Can we go to a different planet, please? I really like Emma Vigeland, but that's, again, I'll take. I'm going to try and make it through this without alienating everybody. I suspect I will fail.
doesn't support them. How many young men have shitposted online? Do we want an authentic working class party or not?
No. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up forever. This is what I hate about middle class people. Actually, there's lots of things I hate about middle class people. But one of the things that really annoys me about middle class people is them talking down and saying that authentic working class means you're just racist or whatever. You're just a fucking idiot. You're thick. You don't know things. You get to be scum. As a working class person, get fucked. Don't talk down to me. Don't tell me about the world I live in or the people that I live around. The people I grew up with, the people I am a part of. You don't know us. And you can tell this. This is why, like, British sitcoms or even dramas or whatever depict working class life so poorly. Because it's middle class people trying to describe a world they don't live in. They're describing a world they're not a part of and they're not from. That they have very, very simplistic two-dimensional images in their head of what they think exists. Based on often media narratives pushed by other middle class and upper class people. And it's gross. It's grotesque. For a start off, you're denying the agency of people just on the basis of them being working class. It's sort of like a class reductionist version of IDPOL, if that makes any sense, where they have, like, you get a kind of free pass as a working class person to have been racist as fuck, and everyone else just has to be fine with that. And that's not okay. And secondly, it's demeaning and undermining to the vast majority of working class people who don't act this way. Very few working class people get fucking Nazi tattoos. Or serve in Abu Ghraib. That's not something that I can just overlook. Because he goes, well, what about the oligarchs? Yeah, we can all fucking tell the oligarchs are scum. Trump, one of the biggest oligarchs in the world, won by saying oligarchs are bad. Everyone knows oligarchs are bad. You don't get a fucking pat on the back from me for this very obvious observation. If you've got a Nazi tattoo, you'd better have a very, very good reason and a very authentic story to tell about how you overcame that. And I don't think he does, considering he was serving with BlackRock 7 years ago. My YouTube channel was 3 years old. Well, technically many years older than that. But my making of YouTube videos started in 2015. He was serving in BlackRock after I had started uploading to YouTube. That's not some ancient fucking history that, like, you just get to say, well, I tattooed over it. Like, in many respects, the tattooing over it
is a stiff dick of poop.
Is the problem. Because he hasn't tried to erase it because he's past it. He just wants to cover it up. He just wants to obscure the thing. Because maybe he's not quite so past it as he wants people to believe him to be.
Young men have shitposted online. Do we want an authentic working class party or not? I feel like now's the time when I should disclose my personal opinion on Graham Plattner and his campaign. But before I do, let me say this. You shouldn't put too much stock in my personal opinion. One of the points...
Better hope his 80-year-old corporate centrist opponent wins the main primary then. Look, that I'm not beholden to the Democratic Party and the shithouse candidates they bring up. I despise that person too, wee jock. I'm not here fucking shilling for anybody. The Democratic Party, outside of a very small handful of people, all of their candidates are scum. They're happy to endorse genocide in Palestine. They're happy to toe the line with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and fucking Clintons. They're awful. But I'm not the one deciding this. I don't have to take fucking sides. I can say a pox upon both their fucking houses, and no matter who gets in, they won't ultimately be able to change anything because the system is what needs to be changed, and they are products of that exact system. The Democratic Party won't allow them to do anything different. So it almost doesn't matter who fucking wins that primary. Because whoever gets in is going to be a wanker. So you can sit there and be snide and tell me how me opposing a man with that track record is somehow endorsing a fucking centrist corporatist. But it fucking isn't. And that's no better than the nonsense you get from fucking Labour people saying, well, you have to vote for Labour, otherwise you're enabling the Reform Party or you're enabling the Tories. No, I'm not. No, I'm fucking not.
I'm going to argue is that we over-index on the personal opinions of individual influencers and politicians, and that's a huge part of the structural problem with the so-called Western left. But
the so-called Western left, you say? Thank you, Fosmos, for gifting a sub on the Twitches. Much love to you, my friend.
Just to be transparent, I'll quickly tell you what I think about Plattner. I don't really like the guy. Is he better than the mainstream Dem candidate he's primary?
Why talk about it at all if you're that black-pilled? Because I want it to get better. I want it to be better. And also, actually, I don't need to have an answer as to even what the right thing to do is. Although I do have, I think, I do think I have answers to what needs to be done, but I don't even need to have those answers in order to be able to, I think, make a salient critique of...
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Just a couple quid for a legend.
You just assaulted me.
You linguistically assaulted me there. I was in the middle of making an absolute belter of a point, and I've been derailed. Anyway, the point I was hopefully, I think, making. You can make, I think, a reasonable critique of someone's track record and someone else's track record and say that they're both shit and it doesn't matter who gets in because they're shit. Because ultimately, we exist... Get your fucking Joker icons out here. We exist in a society where these people do affect the lives of people. I don't pay tax in America, really, outside of, I think my American earnings from Twitch get taxed at source in America. So I think, technically, does that make me an American taxpayer? I don't know. Anyway, either way, what happens in America very much affects my nation. And so I get to critique it. And not just in the way that, like, oh, I'm entitled to an opinion. I'm not doing that thing. Although that is still basically true, but I'm not actually making that point. What I think I'm trying to say here is that it's incumbent upon someone who gives a shit, even if I don't have the answers to this, even if I don't necessarily see a good path through this, to be able to critique. Which at that point you can then throw the fucking contrapoints. They just want to endlessly critique power shit at me if you really want to. But she pals around with fucking Hillary Clinton, so like, I'm not going to be taking lessons on how to be a leftist from that person. No shade. Well, a little bit of shade. Quite a lot of shade, actually. But not that much shade. Yeah. Kev should get a legal vote. No, well, I already illegally vote anyway, so it's fine. I've voted so many times for...
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
For fucking Jean-Luc...
Plattner and Mills are different on the filibuster.
Okay, hang on 1 minute. Oh, let me have a look. Firstly, thank you, Michael, for calling me a legend. Much love. Honestly, I will do things. And thank you, Rachel, with Plattner and Mills are different on the filibuster. How so? I don't know their opinions on this. Not that it would actually really matter to the basic point I'm making. You know, but yeah. I would never throw a ContraPoints argument at you, Kev. No, that's fair enough. But, like, I think if there is a salient moment at which to throw the they just want to endlessly critique power meme at somebody, it probably would be with the point I was just making. Because I was essentially saying it's okay to endlessly critique power, even if you can't see a good path to power. At which point that meme becomes relevant. Albeit I still think a weak argument, but it would be relevant, maybe. Anyway. Mills wants to keep it. Oh, okay. It needs to go. Yeah, look, don't get me wrong. I think probably, look, if we do, just for a second, ignore the Nazi tattoo and the military stuff and the Abu Ghraib and his past, let's call it, as Emma Vigeland did, shitposting. If we just put that to one side for a second, I'm sure his policies are significantly better than the centrist prick who's running against them. And obviously better than... the Republican who's the senator there, whose name I can never remember, Susan Collins, right? Who they would be up against if whoever wins the primary, right? So yeah, like, would it be better if he were elected? I guess so, in a very tangential sense to the point that I'm making. But then once you add back in all of the stuff that we've put to one side for a second, I still can't like fucking support the dude. Because he's essentially an entryist, right? He's a guy who was a Nazi. And I'm not buying this I didn't know what that meant bit. I think, like, it's possible that when he first got it, he didn't know what it meant. That's possible. I'll buy that. But you had it for 20 years in an environment where you would be getting topless around other people pretty regularly. One of those people would have noticed that and gone, whoa, is that... Hang on, let me have a look at that tattoo again. Phil? Let me have a look at that. That's a Totenkopf Nazi tattoo. And he go, nah, it's not. And they go, no, like, let me just Google it for you. There you go. You've got a Nazi tattoo, mate. And at that point he goes, oh fuck, oh okay, and then gets it lasered. The next time he gets some fucking shore leave, he goes to the tattooist and gets it covered up. But he didn't, did he? He didn't. So I don't believe that he at no point during that 20 years had it very firmly pointed out to him, that's a Nazi tattoo. What you have there is a fascist piece of graffito on your fucking tit. I don't think that that's true. So he was a Nazi, okay. Not to be too purity bollocks here, but like, am I the only leftist who didn't have a fucking Nazi phase at any point? Jesus Christ, the amount of fucking people who had a Nazi phase. White people do better. Anyway, I accept that some people did have a Nazi phase and that you have to allow them to get better. You know? There are two ways of dealing with Nazis, or that Nazis are dealt with and become not Nazis anymore. One way is that they learn. They learn about things and get better and develop as a human being. The other way, my friend Gil has some answers about. My friend Gil and his friend B-52. Things, you know. Yeah, there are some people who landed on a beach that one time that had some very, very firm ideas about how to deal with that situation. And in lieu of the second of those things, you have to allow people to get better. You have to allow them to develop beyond that. So that's fine. But one thing is that you have to actually deal with that past. You come out and say, yes, I had this Nazi tattoo. I was disgusted by it. I'm not that person anymore. Here's what I've done, X, Y, and Z, to not be that person. And it can happen. Because if you remember Robert Byrd, not Larry Bird, the basketball player, legend. No, Robert Byrd, former Grand Wizard of the KKK. Right? So you're thinking to yourself, okay, bad dude, bad dude. When he ran for office, he got A+ ratings.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
He got A ratings from the
People
NAACP.
read lots of Stephen King and decide that they're main whisperers. I spent a lot of time there as a child at my grandma's, but I don't claim it.
Fair dues, I will deal with that in a second. Yeah, Robert Byrd got A+ ratings from the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Coloured People, a black empowerment organisation. Now you're thinking to yourself, that's crazy. A former Grand Wizard of the KKK getting A+ ratings from the NAACP. That's because he had stopped being that and had worked fucking tirelessly for decades to not just overcome, but to overcome, erase the damage that he'd done, the hurt that he had caused during his younger life, and to make the lives of his fellow Americans, especially those of colour who he had hurt in the past, to make their lives better. That's a way in which you can rehabilitate yourself from being even like a fucking high up KKK cunt, right? To being a genuinely worthwhile person. It can be done. There is a blueprint. And this man has not followed that blueprint. This man has just covered it up and then gone, I didn't know it was a Nazi tattoo. Well, at some point you learnt it was a fucking Nazi tattoo, didn't you? And you got it covered up. So don't piss down my back and tell me it's fucking raining. If I can't trust you to tell the truth about a fucking tattoo, why should I trust you with power? Why should you be an elected official if you can't tell the truth about the ink stain on your breast? It does suggest to me that you might be hiding one or two things. And that's a little bit fucking worrying from a guy with a Nazi tattoo. He's an entryist. He's an entryist. And those people need to be fucking watched like hawks. No, watched by hawks. As if, yeah. We have to be hawks watching them at every fucking turn. Because they might be genuine. They might be people who have changed. But we have absolutely fucking no way of knowing, you know, until it happens. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. And don't be surprised and like angry at people of colour who don't want to fucking trust this guy. Why the fuck would they? He covered up his Nazi tattoo and claimed like, I didn't fucking know anything. Why the fuck should they trust him? Why the fuck should white people trust him? Anyway, so his policies are probably better. Would it be better if he was elected? Possibly. But he's also still a cunt. What you take that as you will. Do with it whatever you like. Anyway. Thank you, Rachel, who says, people read lots of Stephen King and decide they're main whisperers. I spend a lot of time there as a child at my grandma's, but I don't claim it. Fair enough. I'm not entirely sure the point you're really making there, but still. Yeah. Hey. Tip. Super chat. I can't give a duck on Twitch. It's if you want to do a super chat, there's a link below to the OBS. No, super. What's it called? Streamlabs. There's a Streamlabs link below for a super chat, or you can buy bits on Twitch and you do a bits message. But for some reason, my bot doesn't work in terms of stuff anymore. There you go. Thank you, Wayward. Much love.
Oiled like a baby otter.
True! Thank you, Stotek. Stewtek, 3 months. I love you. I'm not in love with you. Just saying. The bot can't be late ever. No, I'm not calling you the bot. I'm saying the bot, the thing where you type the exclamation point and then the thing. For some reason that used to work and now doesn't work. Now you are the bot, I suppose, yes. But that's not who I was referring to. Also, interestingly, Maine only exists because of slavery. It's not really relevant to anything, but...
Oiled like a baby otter.
Yeah. They had to keep up an even number of slave states and non-slave states under the Compromise of 1850. And Maine at the time was a part of Massachusetts. Very sparsely populated bit of Massachusetts. I forget which state it was. There was another slave state that was added. So the non-slave people were like, fuck this noise, and chopped off what is now Maine from Massachusetts and just made a new state. And went, there you go, 22 each. Hey, or whatever number it was, I don't fucking know, 15 each, whatever. Yeah. So, like so much of American geography, it was dictated because of racism. Rather than ending slavery, they went, let's just be equal. Let's just be an equal number of slave states and not slave states. And that's fine. I don't think that'll ever blow up into a massive war that kills 600,000 Americans. It's a flawless plan. Anyway, thank you, Trebor P, for becoming a member. No, for 5 months of membership. Much love.
Against, sure. Does that mean I like him? No.
Oh.
Does that mean the mainstream Dem candidate he's primarying against? Sure.
assuming he is indeed not a secret Nazi. Well, yeah, no pre-watch, I promise.
Does that mean I like him? Nah. Does that mean you shouldn't vote for him? We'll get to that later. For now, I want to stress my personal feelings about Plattner as an individual aren't that important. And again, the point of this video is not to attack or condemn Plattner as an individual. The major problems which are holding back the left are not problems of individual moral failure. They are structural problems, systemic
Literally, yeah.
problems, institutional problems that make us overly reliant on individual personalities, and those are the problems that we as communists must focus on and tackle if we want to move history forward toward working class revolution. So right now, much of the discourse surrounding Plattner's campaign has to do with his opponent.
The question is Mills or Plattner? And then which one is capable of beating Collins and which one has the potential to be a much better senator?
Former governor of Maine, Janet Mills, is the front runner in the DNC primary, and she's a major Zionist. And in that sense, it's certainly true that an anti-Zionist candidate would be preferable. But that begs the question, why must Graham Plattner be that anti-Zionist candidate? How did he even become the candidate to begin with? Grappling with this question quickly gets to the bedrock bottom of the structural problems of American politics. The DNC is a bourgeois party. It exists to defend and advance the agenda of the capitalist ruling class.
People between the ages of 18 and 29, not just Democrats, not just leftists.
Oh, what happened to Briefcase? Did I get rid of Briefcase?
Trust me, gay is in.
Yeah, that's not Briefcase. Oh, I got rid of Briefcase. Oh, fuck, I'll have to find it again.
51% of people between 18 and 29 no longer support the system of capitalism. And that's not me.
Oh, he's not even a briefcaser. He just looks like one. He's not a briefcaser. He just likes the look. No, I don't. The soundboard still works. It's fine.
I know writers who use subtext, and they're all cowards.
I just forgot to save the briefcase. And it's the bit from the In-Betweeners where they go, "Ooh, briefcase." For when we see a briefcase.
Asking you to make a radical statement about capitalism, but I'm just telling you that my experience is that the younger generation is moving left. But I wonder if there's anywhere you feel that the Democrats could move farther left.
Well, I thank you for your question, but I have to say we're capitalist.
Oh dear, I seem to have spotted a cunt.
It's just the way it is.
It's just a fact. The DNC is a party that is controlled by the ruling class of capitalists, and there's no getting around that fact. Many democratic socialists seem to believe that the DNC can somehow be transformed into a working class party, and that this can be accomplished by...
See, I think this is where I would disagree with those people. I don't think it can be turned into a working class party. My goal in things like joining the Green Party is not that I think they're going to become a revolutionary party in any sense. It's that whilst waiting for any kind of working class solidarity or self-awareness to kick in, working class consciousness, dare I say, I want to make the world a better place. And even if that's just in an infinitesimally better way, even if it's just, you know, nationalising railways or something, like if it's some positive change that gets made, I feel like that's a worthwhile endeavour. I don't think I'm going to make the world a fucking utopia, and so I don't make that my aim. I don't think that the capitalist system will allow you to use democracy to end capitalism, but you can at least have a far less shitty version. You know. Thank you, Fogel, for gifting a sub. If someone else gives a sub, we get onto, or does bits messages or whatever, we'd be on a hype train, and then I can start the fingering of somebody. I don't know. Half of the Democratic Party, because they're dead. They're still in fucking Congress, but they are dead.
running DemSoc candidates and Democrats or independents and then having them caucus with the DNC in Congress. This is a strategy known as entryism because it basically boils down to trying to enter another organization and then change it from within. And entryism has been around for centuries. In the USA, socialists have been trying to shift the DNC into a working class party going back to the Great Depression.
Whoa! Orgle Wargle! I am going to have to suck you off 10 times or something. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe 10 shaken backs. What do you reckon? We'll see. Anyway, yeah, we're on a hype train. If we get to the next level of the hype train, I will finger the corpses in the American fucking Congress. Which could take a while because there are more holes than fingers in that particular fucking situation. And thank you, Carl Brown, for gifting a membership. The noise hasn't happened yet, but it will shortly. Hopefully. Any second now. Any second now. Unless, did I turn the noises off? No, there we go. Liverpool Villa still goalless. Fucking boring, cunts.
Palestine_36 donated $3. Palestine 36 got released yesterday. Go see it in cinemas ASAP. It made me cry for hours. The film recounts the 1936 to 1939 Arab revolt against British colonial rule in
Oh, so it's anti-British. During Poppy Month, they would release anti-British propaganda. It's a fucking outrage. I don't have the British anthem, so I'll just have to use this one. It's the closest I could get. Anyway, thank you, Dr. Phil Decker with Bitty Bits, and thank you, Cricken with Bitty Bits, and thank you, I Can't Give a Duck, who gave as Palestine 36. But I see through your lies. That is not your name. What is it, 255/Clem H Fandango? People who say the American left shouldn't try to exclude veterans, I always want to know if they'd make the same assertion in other societies in historical contexts where the armed forces have committed atrocities in the recent past. I mean, like, suppose you were doing leftism organising in the 1950s, would you be okay letting in veterans? Oh! Hang on a minute. I'll answer your question. Sorry, I've just seen that fucking thing! Who put that in the fucking chat, you monster? John the Brazen, you little... I'll get to you in a second. I'm answering a serious fucking question. I would not be okay with allowing in former Nazis to a leftist organisation in the 1950s in Germany. Although a lot of them were conscripts, that you'd have to go quite far to you'd have to have lots of evidence that you were like secretly a socialist in the German army or something, you know what I mean? Like, which I'm sure there were people like that who just didn't want to get like thrown into a fucking prison camp, so just joined because they had to. Because also people's families got fucked over as well, so you know there's a lot of pressure on them. But either way, no, I wouldn't want to be wouldn't want that particularly. I suppose it has to be done on an individual basis, doesn't it? And as Adam points out, being a mercenary isn't quite the same as being an army veteran. So there's that. Yes, Liverpool just taking the lead. Villa can suck on it, you fucking pricks. Hang on a minute. I said my piece. Anyway, onto this disgusting thing.
You just assaulted me.
What the fuck are you doing? Although, thank you for giving me nicer teeth than I actually have. Everyone boo John. Everyone boo him immediately. Thank you, Fuzzmos, for gifting a membership. And thank you, everyone, for the hype train. Much love. Who saluted Electro Bubble? Boo! Boo! Do I have a booing noise? I don't think I do.
It's a fucking disgrace.
Oh, it has been rolled offside. Fucking dirty, cheating Villa bastards. I can't take back the goal thing now. This is a disgrace, by the way. An absolute fucking disgrace. You proud of yourself?
In 1934, Upton Sinclair ran for governor as a Democrat with the campaign platform of ending poverty in California, and the platform proved popular.
There's no excuse for poverty in a state as rich as California.
But the campaign failed.
Frank Merriam carried the election with 1.1 million votes to Upton Sinclair's 900,000.
And the DNC remained a bourgeois anti-communist party under the leadership of Franklin Delano Roosevelt through the remainder of the Depression. In the 1970s, this guy, Michael Harrington, founded DSOC, the Democratic Socialist Organizing Committee, with the intention of transforming the DNC into a socialist party through the tactic of realignment. This meant joining forces with the Democratic Party to build and deliver a democratic...
Birmingham did make some of the first tanks, that is literally true. Yeah. Boop. I think that's the Rover plant, if I'm not mistaken. Or what would become the Rover. At this point, it was still Austin, I believe. The factory my dad worked at that doesn't exist anymore. Thank you, Samo, who just has, well, it says on the screen, pair bowing down saying thank you. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? But it's literally just, it's the pair emoji. Bowing down saying thank you. So. Oh, the Oldbury Carriage Works. Oh, okay, so it wasn't Austin then. Okay.
Socialist platform. DSOC fielded many candidates for political office, but they almost always ran as Democrats.
Unless we get a Democratic Party that cares about...
Yay! Liverpool have just taken the lead. My parents met at Bourne Village. Cadbury chocolate in the middle. Yeah, it's Bourneville. Yeah. Originally a little town on the edge of Birmingham created by Quakers that then got swallowed up by Birmingham because that's what happens. Urban sprawl is a thing. Your dad worked for Austin. Well, for Rover. Austin hadn't existed as Austin for a long time. Martinez is a shite keeper. He did win a World Cup, to be fair to the lad.
Programs and ideas and structures to carry them through. This country is in deep, deep trouble.
DSOC later became today's DSA party, and this strategy of realignment has only had limited success with the entry of only a handful of
Birmingham Swallows. Kind of, yeah, kind of. I was actually talking about this the other day with a friend of mine about how Sarhole Mill, which is where J.R.R. Tolkien, the Lord of the Rings guy, where he grew up, has been preserved basically as it was when he would have lived there, because it's like a historical thing, right? And they have all these Lord of the Rings events and stuff. I think I've talked about it before. I went to Sixth Form College just down the road, and we used to get really high, and then I'd walk to the bus stop and there'd be like people dressed as elves and wizards and shit. It's fucking trippy. You're like, did I fall asleep? Am I dreaming this? It's very, very strange. Anyway, but like I said, that would have been, again, similarly to Bourneville, that would have been Moseley Village, as it was just like essentially a village on the outskirts of Birmingham that has now been completely swallowed up by Birmingham's expansion, to the point where the estate I grew up on was the other side of Moseley from the centre of Birmingham. And you know, when say like until the estate was made in the 50s or 60s, whenever it was, would have been farmland. But Birmingham just ballooned. We are swole as a city. They call us Swolingham. They don't do that.
Democratic Socialist candidates at the national level. The problem with entryism and realignment is that it fails to properly understand the superstructure of the capitalist political economy and the role and nature of a political party as a social institution. Marx described the leadership of bourgeois parties as but a committee for managing the common affairs of the whole bourgeoisie. Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels were adamant that workers must build up our own parties and develop our own leadership rather.
It looks like he's photoshopped himself into Karl Marx's face there. It doesn't look like Karl Marx.
Than be subjugated as interest pressure groups trying to manipulate and modify bourgeois parties. As Marx wrote, even when there is no prospect of achieving their election, the workers must put up their own candidates to preserve their independence, to gauge their own strength, and to bring their revolutionary position and party standpoint to public attention. They must not be led astray by the empty phrases of the Democrats, who will maintain that the workers' candidates will split the Democratic Party and offer the forces of reaction the chance of victory. All such talk means in the final analysis that the proletariat is to be swindled. The progress which the proletarian party will make by operating independently in this way is infinitely more important than the disadvantages resulting from the presence of a few reactionaries.
Are you sure? Because Vosh definitely told me that Karl Marx would have voted for Joe Biden. Funny. 15-week-old Rusty. Firstly, salutes in chat. 15-week-old Rusty giving me the silent treatment because I wouldn't let him chew my feet. Oh, bless. Oh, absolute legend. Absolute fucking legend. Karl Marx wasn't American, so it would have been... I said salutes in chat, mother flippers. There we go. Did he say that about Marx or Lenin? I can't remember, but it was funny. I thought Zara Sultana was the one true leftist. True, she is. She is.
In the representative body. And it also just doesn't make sense on the surface. I mean, if you're only going to be running candidates through the DNC, then you're basically allowing the capitalists to have a lot of input into which leaders get chosen to push our movement forward and to stand in the public spotlight. We're putting our leaders through a filter that will eliminate anyone who capitalists oppose strongly enough, because we are only relying on these bourgeois elections to choose the people who are going to stand for our movement. We need to have elections within our own parties that we control, where capitalists have no influence. Otherwise, we're just going to get these watered down, diluted versions of working class leaders. So when Emma Vigeland asks the question, do we want an authentic working class party or not? The answer is resoundingly yes, but that working class party is not and can never be the DNC. Now, there are structural reasons that many democratic socialists argue for entryism into the...
Oh, Marx was all about the horse dick. Absolutely. Yeah.
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen.
Democratic Party. There are massive barriers which prevent independent and third-party candidates from becoming viable in national elections in the USA, and I don't deny that those hurdles seem insurmountable under our current conditions. It's just a fact that the DNC has a massive, overwhelming leg up when it comes to fielding candidates in federal elections. Third parties, independents are largely shut out, and it's unlikely that any Communist Party will be able to overcome those barriers in the near future. But that does not mean that we can shirk the work of building working class parties, which we control as workers. On the contrary, the fact that the bourgeois state is designed from the ground up to prevent workers from fielding candidates is precisely why we desperately need to build up our own revolutionary organizations. Communists in the past have faced far worse structural barriers when it comes to influencing the state. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, for instance,
which Marx quote are you talking about, 255?
Many communists were struggling for political change in literal monarchies or colonial systems where they were completely blocked from even speaking out against.
Marx would have been into Marx would have been into clopping, which, if you don't know what that is, do not look it up.
The ruling class. Indeed, Marx himself struggled as an international revolutionary under just such circumstances throughout the mid-19th.
It turns out that not everyone is a twink, and therefore, like, he never had a twink phase in order to have twink death. He was just twink genocide.
Century. In 1847, Marx helped to found the Communist League, the world's first true communist political party. And this was a time of tremendous upheaval in European society. It was for the Communist League that Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels wrote the Communist Manifesto in 1848, a year that saw proletarian revolutions blaze across Europe. These uprisings were driven by a convergence of economic hardship, demands for freedoms of speech and democratic institutions, and burgeoning national...
Oh, running candidates if there's no one... I think if there's a fascist involved, I think you ought not run as a wrecker. But if it's just some neoliberal ghoul, like, the Democrats are no better, really. But then, like, the time in which Marx wrote that was very different, politically speaking. So I'm not entirely sure what he meant by that, if that makes sense, in his cultural, political milieu. Be glad you don't see my blue skyline. Well, exactly, Vogel. You are a fucking degenerate, and I love you.
Nationalism, especially in Marx's home country of Germany, much to Marx's chagrin. The so-called springtime of nations spread rapidly after the February Revolution in France overthrew the
springtime for Hitler and Germany. I will not be adding context.
Monarchy and established the Second Republic. This quickly triggered revolts across the German states, the Italian states, and the Austrian Empire. And after initial successes which forced monarchs to enact liberal reforms and the development of some nominally democratic institutions, the revolutions of 1848 were ultimately a victory for the capital.
I am suggesting that someone who was born in died in 1880 really oughtn't be the absolute final say in modern politics. Also, why have they erased Luxembourg? This is anti-Luxembourgish fucking evil, is what this is. Erasure.
Capitalist class and a massive defeat for the working class. You see, the revolutions of 1848 began as a coalition of capitalist and working classes against the outdated authority of feudal monarchs and nobles. Once the capitalists secured their demands of liberal political rights such as constitutions and limited suffrage, they became terrified of the more radical demands of the workers and aligned themselves with the monarchies to restore order. The workers' more radical demands for social change and economic rights were seen as a direct threat to private property by the bourgeoisie, and this led the capitalists to betray the workers through violent suppression, most famously the June Days Uprising in Paris. By 1849, the remaining revolutions across Europe were extinguished. While limited constitutionalism did survive in some places, the pressing goals of the working class were never achieved. At the end of the day, the capitalists feared the prospect of a united revolutionary proletariat far more than they feared the feudal monarchies, and this made them very willing to form a conservative...
Talking of feudal monarchies, I think I've worked out why I don't like Star Wars. Bear with me. The good guys, right, support Princess Leia, who is a princess and a monarch of a very hierarchical society. Now, don't get me wrong, the Empire are clearly like baddies, but what makes the good guys goodies? Like, aren't they just trying to put a different feudal arse on the throne? Like, why should I care about that particularly? She's also a Democrat. Yeah, but she's a fucking monarch. I don't care. She's still a monarch. To restore a republic. Do we know what kind of republic either? It's left pretty vague, I think. You can read into it. Well, you say that. They've got the fucking Wookiees on their side. She's horrible to the Wookiees. She describes one of them as a walking carpet. Wookiee racism is what it is. There's clearly some sort of racial alien hierarchy situation. She's a racist, a feudalist. She can get in the pile with the rest of them. Dickheads. Also, Yoda was a nonce. I'm just saying. It's probably best he died in the 70s, to be honest with you. Just saying.
Front, which elevated the capitalists to a higher level of power, even if it only slightly diminished the authority of the kings of Europe. Thus, the revolutions of 1848 essentially cleared the way for the bourgeoisie to consolidate power through reaction rather than authentic revolution. Karl Marx was an active participant in the revolutions of 1848. Today, most people think of Marx and Friedrich Engels as mere philosophers and writers, but both men put their lives and freedom on the line by actively organizing revolutionary activity in France and Germany and Belgium as leaders of the Communist League. It was during this time that Marx received a modest inheritance from his father, which he fully invested in a communist newspaper, the Neue Rheinische Zeitung. For his part, Friedrich Engels used his own wealth to purchase cases of rifle cartridges and weapons, as well as banned socialist literature, and he smuggled it into Germany. Marx and Engels risked their lives in these activities. Marx was constantly harassed by the police and brought to trial several times, and in the end, the King of Prussia dissolved the liberal parliament and packed it with his own reactionary supporters.
I love that this was a video about Graham Plattner in his election in 2025, and he's now on about the dissolving of some ancient German Republic shit. Leftists stick to the point, challenge impossible. The Wookiees keep slaves, Kev. Exactly. Why am I supposed to like... The goodies aren't good. That's the point I'm making. We're supposed to be engaged in like these characters as the good versus bad, and they're not good. They're knobheads. They may be less evil in some respects, but Han Solo doesn't pay his debts and then shoots motherfuckers. He's a wrong'un. Definitely. Yoda was a nonce. That's headcanon now. He just was. He gets young twink boys to run around and get sweaty for him. Gets them on his own little planet where he's had to escape to. Sus as fuck, right? They want to put a feudal racist monarch on the throne. Incest. Just saying.
And this led to Marx being exiled from Germany in May of 1849. With his wife expecting their fourth child, Marx and his family fled to London as political exiles. For Marx, the revolutions of 1848 were a stunning defeat.
Release the Yoda files!
Yum yum friends we are.
Oh no. Oh, I'm going to hell.
They came to fully realize that workers could not spontaneously rise up and take over the state in one fell swoop. Rather, material conditions for revolution would have to be patiently built up through long-term organizing, and this organizing would have to be done by the workers themselves. Only when objective conditions were properly established through proletarian organizing could revolution be undertaken with any chance of success. This demand for careful organizing and prolonged development of a communist party to lead the revolution made many of Marx's fellow working-class revolutionists impatient. One such man was Karl Schapper, a German communist who had struggled in various revolutions across Europe throughout.
We don't get enough blokes with awesome facial hair. It's just true. Back in the day, all of the lads, all of them, they had fucking awesome. Like this guy probably this kind of awesome facial hair was just like every day. This was mid. This was a mid beard in 1860. Nowadays, he'd stand out like one of the great lions of the pride, whereas back then it was just like Schapper and his fucking stupid pathetic attempt at a beard. Get out, you puff, is probably what they'd say, because they were very homophobic whilst also loving cock. Cheers, Kev. Fully ruined Star Wars for me now. It's a drawing. Okay, yeah, to be fair, it is a drawing, yes. But we have to take it that it's at least roughly accurate as drawing. It's not like he's a looker. It's not like they've drawn him with rippling abs. They hasn't drawn him like a Chad. Presumably he did look something like this.
Throughout his life. Schapper began his revolutionary career at the age of 20 when he was imprisoned for trying to overthrow the Frankfurt government as a student, but he managed to escape. He then struggled with various organizations using a variety of tactics and strategies over the ensuing decades. He participated in utopian revolution, nationalist youth movements, forming revolutionary secret societies, English Chartism, and finally his path led him to communism when he encountered Karl Marx around...
Chartism is an interesting one. I must go into that with you at times, at some point over the course of time. The Chartist movement. A fascinating group of people. I suppose, how do you put it in a modern context? Reform socialists, I guess? If that makes sense. They wanted, rights, extra rights and shit, Didn't work out, unfortunately. Because Britain is,
Where are we going? Garbage Island.
Around the time of the revolutions of 1848. Schapper passionately and desperately wanted his fellow Germans and all of Europe to be liberated from suffering and oppression, and after the uprisings of 1848 failed, Schapper found himself exiled to London along with Marx and Engels. He was eager to jump right back into the fray and began demanding that the Communist League move its headquarters out of exile in London and back to Cologne, Germany.
True,
he wanted to march right back to Germany and resume the revolution despite the fact that
Christy lives there.
The Prussian monarchy had cemented itself into even more oppressive power, was even more suppressive of political activity than ever before. Marx and Engels understood that what Schapper wanted to do would be a fruitless failure that would unnecessarily risk the Communist League's very existence. Unfortunately, a large faction of the Communist League sided with Schapper. In a dramatic meeting of the Communist League, which took place on September 15, 1850, Marx and Schapper confronted one another. Marx proposed that a new district of the Communist League be established in London for Marx and his followers, offering to allow Schapper to take control of the Central Committee of the League and transfer it to Cologne. Marx hoped to keep the Communist League together as a political party, but Schapper refused.
Marx was always an ugly cunt. Like, Stalin, in his youth, could fucking get it. But Marx was always an absolute munter. Just an absolute fucking blobfish.
Deciding instead to split his faction off into a separate party, the Communist Central Committee. Previously, about a decade before the revolutions of 1848, Schapper had worked with French revolutionist Auguste Blanqui to create a secret society with the intention...
That's one of the most French names I've ever seen. That name is so French it smells like blue cheese. Louis Auguste Blanqui. That's naughty behaviour.
Of infiltrating and overtaking the French government. We now call this form of clandestine entryism Blanchism. Blanqui's secret revolution was a failure, but that didn't stop Schapper from resurrecting a Blancist platform when he returned to Germany after splitting away from Marx and the Communist League. His attempts at building an insurrection in Germany ultimately failed, just as Marx had predicted. And to his credit, Schapper was humbled by the experience and he reconciled with Marx in 1856. From that point on, he became a loyal advocate of Marx's conception of communism, and for the rest of his life, Karl Schapper helped build toward revolution alongside Marx and Engels until he died from tuberculosis in 1870 at the age of 57. Now, what I love about this story is Schapper was not a bad guy. He was a passionate communist and revolutionary. He wanted to free his fellow workers, and he just wanted it faster than it could reasonably realistically be accomplished. He made mistakes and he learned from those mistakes, and he had a redemption arc in the end. He learned the proper methodology of building a revolution.
Blanqui is French for a security blanket, or comfort blanket. You are an adorable sausage, Flow Snake.
From Marx and Engels, and he came around to see the light of the practice of revolution building. We can all learn a thing or two from Schapper. He is, in my opinion, a great hero, despite, or perhaps because of, his flaws.
Okay.
But what does any of this have to do with Graham Plattner?
I don't think it has anything to do with it. I think this is exactly what you always do in your videos, which is you sneak in education about socialist topics under the guise of talking about something else, because you are a relatively effective propagandist. And I mean that not in a bad way.
Well, things may seem very different today in the USA than they were in Europe in the mid-19th century. Schapper was dealing with absolute monarchies, which precluded running candidates in elections altogether. And his response was to push for a hasty and ill-conceived insurrection without doing any of the prerequisite work of building and organizing. On the surface, that seems very different from the situation we have today in the USA, since we are allowed, for now at least, to openly criticize the government, and theoretically anyone can run for office. But what Karl Schapper of 1850 had in common with modern-day American leftists is his lack of revolutionary discipline. Marx warned Schapper that the conditions for revolution had not been met, but he blundered forward anyway, recklessly. He lacked an understanding of development processes, and he just wanted things to happen more quickly than they could happen. Marx called this a failing of subjective will. Basically, Schapper believed that the revolutionaries of Germany could successfully overthrow the King of Prussia through sheer force of will.
What is it that I always said? If you can dream it, you can do it. Exactly.
He wasn't concerned with the material conditions, with the objective conditions, the political economy, or the amount of organizing that had been done by his fellow communists. He just thought, you know, mind over matter, we can force our way through sheer force of will. And that proved to be his downfall. That's why he failed in his adventure in Germany. As Marx said directly to Schapper in that fateful meeting in 1850, the materialist standpoint of the manifesto has given way to idealism. The revolution is seen not as the product of realities of the situation, but as the result of an effort of will. Whereas we say to the workers, you have 15, 20, 50 years of civil war to go through in order to alter the situation and to train yourselves for the exercise of power, it is said, we must take power at once, or else we may as well take to our beds. American leftists today, who put all their faith and hope in individual electoral candidates like Graham Plattner and Bernie Sanders and Zoran Mamdani for that matter, are suffering the same...
You get Mamdani's name out of your fucking mouth. Anyone who comes for the Z man, and yes, it's Z and not Z, you fucking Yanks, right? Anyone who comes for the Z man has to get through me first, okay? I will not have slander against his name.
It's a fucking disgrace.
fundamental flaw of idealism. It's just manifesting differently today in a bourgeois democracy than it did 175 years ago in monarchist Europe. Schapper unfortunately abandoned the tedious but necessary work of building a political party in a workers' movement that suited the material conditions of his day so that he could rush forward and enact foolhardy and adventurous insurrections that were premature and doomed.
Yeah, this isn't really relevant because Plattner's not going on about fucking revolution, is he? And neither are many of the people who support Plattner. I don't know.
To failure. American leftists today want to abandon the tedious but necessary work of building a political party and a workers' movement that suits our current material conditions so that they can instead pour all their energy and resources into backing flawed liberal candidates with a lack of any sort of organized party or platform or framework for revolution whatsoever. I mean, think about it. Graham Plattner isn't even a self-described socialist or a democratic socialist. He's not even a member of the DSA. He's raw-dogging the DNC. He's a bare metal Democrat who has expressed some populist opinions about the oligarchy and Zionism that sound pretty good on paper, but his platform is not the result of proletarian movement building. He doesn't answer to the people or a workers' party. He's just another bourgeois candidate. Bourgeois candidates are very different.
Yeah, we know. I don't think anyone's suggested he wasn't.
Different from proletarian leaders on an objective basis and in terms of function. Bourgeois candidates are beholden above all else to funding. They answer to their donors, first and foremost, and bourgeois parties select candidates based on optics and electability. Plattner is accountable to essentially nobody, and his platform is rooted in nothing more than his own.
Anarchists and Marxist-Leninists have a lot in common, to be fair. John. Do not say that to any anarchists or Marxist-Leninists. Because they will fucking eat you.
Subjective opinions and personality. He's shooting from the hip, he's running on vibes, and his rise to political stardom has more to do with celebrity than political movement building. The same can be said, by the way, for Bernie Sanders, AOC, and every other member of the so-called squad. These politicians are all products of bourgeois individualist ideology, which states, vote for the individual you think has the best personality and personal opinions. Vote for the person you vibe with as an individual.
Political scientists have identified three main factors that influence how a person will vote. These are party loyalty, the issues involved in an election, and characteristics of the candidates running for office.
This kind of individualist electoralism serves as a facade for the systemic class-based politics which truly govern the DNC.
I was not expecting Craig Benzine to pop up. That is a face that I've not seen for a very long time. I used to watch his videos like 15 years ago or something. Fucking hell. They were very good. He was one of the good early YouTubers. I didn't know he'd been on Crash Course, although that doesn't surprise me particularly, but
see beneath the surface. Democratic candidates are tasked with telling workers what we want to hear while truly serving the capitalist ruling class, and that's just the nature of the beast that is the DNC. It's a bourgeois party with a vague and ill-defined bourgeois platform that objectively exists to...
Well, you didn't watch my videos 15 years ago, because I wasn't making videos 15 years ago. You lying bastard, Fogel.
Serve the capitalist oligarchy. Revolutionary leadership, on the other hand, the sort of movement building that Karl Marx tried to convince Schapper to participate in way back in 1850, looks very different. A revolutionary communist movement builds its platform on a strong foundation of proletarian ownership, democratically defined ideological positions, and disciplined cadre building. As communists, we must seek to circumvent individualist personality-driven politics in favor of a coherent platform that is conceived of by workers and for workers. When we pick our leaders through bourgeois state elections, we are giving a lot of people who aren't workers a lot of input and sway in who gets chosen to lead us. That is
9 years. You're still old.
You just assaulted me.
Absolute violation.
A major flaw of this entryist strategy. We aren't really getting leaders that we choose through our own methods. We aren't getting leaders that we develop to suit the ideologies that we democratically agree to sign on to. We are getting leaders who are good at winning bourgeois elections. And guess who gets to set up the criteria for who wins bourgeois elections? the bourgeoisie. If you live in Maine and you think that Plattner is the best candidate to vote for, then by all means, vote for him. The primary isn't until June of next year, and the actual election is over a year away. One would think that a better candidate could be found in that time, but honestly, that's not even my point. The point is that no candidate beholden to the DNC is going to bring us much closer towards revolution. I first moved away from liberalism and towards socialism back in 2015 thanks to Bernie Sanders. When he lost the primary that year...
I thought he was going to say thanks to Kevin Logan starting making videos in that year. I would have been deeply honoured.
I was told to hold my nose and vote for Hillary. And ever since, I get told the same thing year after year for over a decade now. Hold your nose and vote for a stinky Democrat to reduce harm. Choose the lesser of two evils. I can only imagine what could have been accomplished if we'd spent more of our time over the last 10 years building up parties and institutions of our own, and less time bickering and discoursing.
Oh, by the way, hello, Joe. How are you?
Campaigning for liberals who don't even fight for us when they do get elected. I will never stop being butthurt about the number of people who screamed at me and viciously assaulted my character because I wouldn't give Joe Biden a full-throated and passionate endorsement. I didn't even tell my audience not to vote for him, by the way. I just said he sucked.
But what can Biden say?
What
can Biden say?
He's the racist. You just don't. Here's the deal. I know a lot more about
I'm not a racist. You're the racist. So weak.
And then he got elected, and yeah, he sucked. These people suck. They're not on our side. So sure, go ahead, hold your nose and vote for the Democrat if that's the best choice in an ongoing or upcoming election. But for frick's sake, there's so much more we could all be doing that goes way beyond bourgeois electoralism, but those better opportunities will only really present themselves as we accomplish the work of building and organizing and developing cadres and educating ourselves and our fellow workers and practicing revolutionary movement building in the real world. The DNC is a bourgeois party that has existed for many, many decades explicitly.
Yeah, I said I was making videos 10 years ago. Yeah. Literally, I started in 2015. It's now 2025. The end of 2025. So yeah, I've been making videos for just over 10 years. Oh, hello. 2-0 Liverpool.
As a social institution of the ruling class. The Democrats are guided and driven primarily by funding from wealthy capitalist donors, and we aren't going to be able to change that. The DSA has been trying to realign the DNC since 1973, over half a century, and that strategy has had practically no impact on the essential nature of the Democratic Party. If anything, the DNC has drifted farther and farther towards the right over the years, doubling down on neoliberalism and anti-communism time and time again. It's a failed project. Now is the time for us to wake the fuck up and accept that fact and move on. Emma Vigeland asked the question, do we want an authentic working class party or not? Hell yes we do, Emma, which is why we need to give up this quixotic idealist notion that we can somehow do an entryism and rehabilitate the DNC. This doesn't mean we don't build coalition with liberals and the DNC and DemSocs. We must work with Democrats and DemSocs where our interests align, and that might mean backing DNC candidates in elections as it suits our strategy. As Vlad Lenin wrote, I think that this alliance of
Vlad? You're not even going to give him the full Vladimir? Vlad, you're on half first name terms. Shush.
Communists and non-communists is
also
absolutely essential. One of the biggest and most dangerous mistakes made by communists is the idea that a revolution can be made by revolutionaries alone. On the contrary, to be successful, all serious revolutionary work requires that the idea that revolutionaries are capable of playing the part only of the vanguard of the truly virile and advanced class must be understood and translated into action. A vanguard performs its task as vanguard only when it is able to avoid being isolated from the mass of the people it leads and is able really to lead the whole mass forward. Without an alliance with non-communists in the most diverse spheres of activity, there can be no question of any successful communist construction. So, yes, we will need to be able to work across lines with liberals and Democrats as we build up institutions of our own, but our primary focus must be on building up institutions of our own. As it stands right now, America's left is far too invested in electoralism and the celebrity worship of individual politicians. Hold your nose and vote for the Democrat next November if that's the best available option, but there are about 365 days between now and then that we need to spend building and organizing our own parties. I know things are very scary right now, and I understand the impulse to panic and freak out and hide behind the Graham Plattners and the Bernie Sanders of the world. They say a lot of pretty words that can be comforting in hellish times like these.
We are living in an oligarchy, and that is the struggle we have got to take on.
But they do not offer a path towards revolution. We have to build that path ourselves. There is a dire need right now for radical change, and the sooner we can build a better world, the more people...
Vova or Volodya are short for Vladimir, not Vlad.
Really? So that's the... Oh, he's in the Anglo box. That's his problem. Apparently Vova and Volodya are short for Vladimir and not Vlad. What's Vlad short for then? Is it short for anything? I don't know. Anyway, everyone go follow Mad Cat Scotty Eye. He was fucking awesome. Kev, do you feel the left in this day and age we are lacking in solidarity? It seems more and more that if the establishment doesn't divide us, we will do it ourselves like a group of cats. To be fair, that's not a today issue, Super Space Monkey. As a person who is a connoisseur of the ancient and not so ancient, but still historic, the forces of progress have always been at each other's throats. Actually, people of all kinds have. It's not just the left that eat their own. Everyone fucking eats their own to some extent. But the left, partly because I think there's principles matter far more than just power for power's sake. And so it's easier to divide the left. The left divides themselves. Which suits the bourgeoisie because they can just use those cracks and widen them and split people apart and stuff. Their propaganda is far more effective against a group that are already on shaky ground to begin with. If that makes sense. I find the obsession with revolution tedious. Yeah, especially in a situation where it isn't going to happen. The idea that there's any revolutionary potential in the West right now is fucking farcical. Absolutely farcical. So focusing on it as if that's a thing that's possible is silly. I don't reveal that I can't give a duck.
We can save, but we can't take lazy shortcuts in building it. We have to do the work, the tedious, slow, boring, and thankless work of building up our own social institutions and developing our own ideology through practice.
Oh, Vlad is short for Vladislav. Oh, okay. Well, you gotta be weird, Russia. Why not just call people Dave or Tim? It's a lot easier.
So if
you're almost Dutch in your eccentricity,
not already a member of a communist party or some sort of revolutionary organization, go out and find one today and start doing the work. If you need help with that, feel free to get in contact with us. We can't tell you exactly which org you should...
Vladislav, baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
Join. That's going to vary from place to place and your personal situation, but we can help get you started. And if you want to learn more about the communist formula for revolution, I highly recommend that you check out our curriculum on dialectical and historical materialism.
What the fuck is this? Absolute wank. What is this? Curriculum on the basic principles of Marxism-Leninism, Part 1. The worldview of philosophical methodology of Marxism-Leninism, translated by Luna Nguyen. Or just Nguyen, maybe? I don't know. Ebooks are free. Oh, okay.
You can get the book in print if you'd like, but the ebooks are free at banyanhouse.org/shop. Right now, Luna is hard at work on part 3 of the curriculum, and it's going to take her quite some time, so that leaves me with some free time to start working on it.
So these are Vietnamese, like, government books, basically, right? Is that what I'm to understand, that she is translating into English? Okay.
a side project. So I'm going to take some translations that Luna's already done on works by Ho Chi Minh and other Vietnamese communists that we think are going to make a nice little kind of handbook for revolutionary organizing. And just like with the curriculum, we're going to make those ebooks.
No, I know Luna, yeah, it's his wife. I know. Yeah, I'm aware of that. My wife. Does anyone have that song? The Vosh song? Because that was funny. It was dumb as fuck, but it was funny.
Available for free. So if you'd like to be informed when that comes out, or maybe donate and support that work, you can go to banyanhouse.org/revolutionary guide, where you can sign up and chip in. For now, I'm EJ. This is Non-Compete. Thank you for watching. Now get out there and start building. Is that okay?
Yeah, that was super. Thanks. Thanks, babe. Okay. Did noises happen? Oh, we already did the Vladimir bit, didn't we? Yeah, okay. Okay, this is not what I meant.
You doubted me, but I saw too with my own eyes. There are only 2 holes. Whoa! There are only 2 holes. Whoa! There are only 2 holes. Whoa! There are only 2 holes. Whoa!
That is not what I meant.
I'm Non-Compete. Nazis had a point. I'm Luna Boy. Nazis had a point. I'm Non-Compete. Nazis had a point. Nazis had a point. I'm Non-Compete. Nazis had a point. I'm Luna Boy. Nazis had a point.
Adults can molest children and have to 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 adults can molest children and have to. You insulting my wife. Maybe the Nazis have the power. Maybe the Nazis have the power. Maybe the Nazis have the power. Maybe the Nazis have. You insulting my wife.
It's a fucking disgrace.
Anyway, talking of Zoran Mamdani and how much I want to fuck him, Walter Masterson, the mentalist who goes to those protests and takes the piss out of them, anyway, he got to interview him. And so Zoran answers questions from my Conservative family members. Might be some fun. What do you reckon, chat? It'd be help if I didn't have it fucking muted.
I'm with Zoran Mamdani. He's running for mayor. Mayor, yeah. And the rich people have all threatened to leave New York if you're elected. But if you're not elected, Cuomo's threatening to move to New York.
Yeah, it's a long commute from Westchester. Wants to cut it down. Hey.
I told my conservative family that I'm interviewing you, and they had some questions. So I'm going to read.
I'm going to be a mayor for them too.
Pretend you're at the dinner table with my family. We just got done talking about trans.
Yeah, as if your Conservative family members would have him around a table.
People, and now dessert is being served, and we're talking about Zoran.
Here we go.
If you make buses completely free, what's to stop homeless people from camping out in the back?
So when we made 5 bus routes free across New York City, when we were in the midst of that push in the state legislature, where I serve as an assemblyman, we were told that making them free would increase the amount of homeless New Yorkers who were using the bus, that it would become a roving homeless encampment. What we found is actually making them free had no impact on that question. And what
Don't answer seriously. Give a funny joke answer. I'm only here for the memes, Zoran. Oh, for 255 carrying on with Mr. Streamy. Suddenly, Mr. Streamy was teleported to an alternate universe full of horse pterodactyl hybrids. Where did you come from? I'm some old shit from when 255 was into speculative evolution. Self-inserts, 255. Very gauche. I will keep you up to date with the inevitable adventures of Mr. Streamy. I do appreciate the anatomically correct nude Kev.
You just assaulted me.
What it actually did is provide economic relief to New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs. What it provided was public safety because it decreased assaults on bus operators by 38.9%, and environmental benefits because more than 10% of new riders were previously driving their own car or taking a cab. Now they were taking the bus.
All right.
Mr. Streamy looks like Jeremy Beadle. That's the second fucking Jeremy Beadle comparison in the last couple of fucking days.
You just assaulted me.
This is a fucking outrage.
It's a fucking disgrace.
You hear that? You hear that? From my other conservative family member. The city has made a lot of progress on crime and disorder. Are you going to stop that with your liberal policies?
You know, it has been a good thing to see the decline in crime across the city, and that's something that we have to continue. And we also have to ensure that we are addressing the many different crises that are making New Yorkers also feel.
Firstly, hello Curtis, everyone go and follow Turn Left. Read my message on stream now. He says, all caps, there are only 2 holes. What? That was the incredibly important message that Curtis Daly, proper journalist and that, gets invited on the fucking news all the time. The TV personality Curtis decided to interrupt my fucking stream to get me to read that to you. Disgusting. Everyone unsubscribe from Turn Left immediately.
Unsafe.
Also, I'll be on with Curtis tomorrow at 6 PM UK time to do some award-winning journalisms.
Because when I ask New Yorkers, where do you feel most unease, they will often say public transit. And they'll say it's because of the mental health crisis and the homelessness crisis. Yeah. And we've been asking police officers to deal with this when their job should be dealing with serious crimes. That's why we're going to create a Department of Community Safety that will address a number of issues, chief among them homelessness and the mental health crisis, to actually connect those New Yorkers with the services that they deserve.
Yeah, that is true. Curtis is very handsome. That is true. He's very much the British Zoran Mamdani, in many respects. It's like if Zoran Mamdani was a fucking pirate. Yeah, I said it. I won't be taking it back. I'll be leaving it out there for the entire world to hear.
To get them out of the subway system and into the very places that will provide them with those services.
And that all sounds nice, but who's going to play Candy Crush on their phones while civilians take down an active shooter?
I am only answering one question from each conservative family member.
Okay. And lastly, here's a doozy. Okay. I have 2 homeless encampments outside my house. It sucks. I feel for them, but I have a right to order in my neighborhood, not getting hit up 5 times as soon as I step outside.
You know, this is city government's responsibility. It is our responsibility to take care of New Yorkers. It's not actually your conservative relative's responsibility. And that's something that my city government is going to live up to. We are going to connect homeless New Yorkers with the very supportive housing units that were built to serve so many of them, but today are sitting vacant. We have about 4,200 New Yorkers who are living on subway platforms across New York City.
We're so pretty, oh so pretty. Vacant.
We have almost the same number of vacant supportive housing units in New York City.
Mhm.
It's our
That's what I
job to
just
make
said.
that connection. It's our job to build enough housing such that everyone can find a place to live, and our job to freeze the rent for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants so we're not pushing people into homelessness.
And just to be fair, some of my conservative family members are voting for you. They're voting for you like this, like, right? Which, you know what? I'll take it.
We'll take it.
I'll
and then
take
we'll
it.
win them over and earn their trust when I'm in city government.
So last time Cuomo was here, he made a right on red. It's actually in his own campaign ad.
Yes, yes. Well,
Totally.
Cuomo will always take a turn to the right when he's given an opportunity.
Oh, fuck yes. Oh, fucking W's in chat. That was absolutely lovely work. 3rd degree burns all over the sex pest. Fuck yes. Let's go.
You might have seen that in the general election.
Okay, so it is really nasty outside today. People are still lined up to see Zoran. We're in Washington Heights, and people have come far and wide. So people are saying that Trump's going to do bad things to the city if Zoran's elected, and we should all be really scared.
Zoran has said it himself. He's already doing bad things to the city. He already has it out for the city, for the state, for all his enemies like Letitia James. He's on revenge. What Zoran represents is someone who's going to fight that in a way, not make a compromise, not have them, and not have us.
Fascists in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, he's looking to bring out our better sides for us to rally us to what's going to help the common good and not help the rich.
Why are you here for Zoran?
Because I love him and he know what to do. And we're having an African thing on next Saturday.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get the African community with him. He know what he is and he's a young guy and we're related to him.
Okay.
Not because he's Muslim, but he's a person that...
Oh, bless her. The fact not because he's Muslim, but because he's locked from New York and that. Oh, that's fucking adorable, man. Oh, do I have a nice thing?
Epic dub.
I need more nice things, chat. I've got plenty of things calling people cunts and wankers, but I need something good. I need something nicer than that. What, do I have anything nice? Well, this is quite nice, I suppose.
At this very moment, Britannia burns.
He got his dignity and he's going to do what he say.
This guy is signing people up to canvass for Zoran. Zoran has, like 70,000 people canvassing for him. Cuomo has no one canvassing for him. Cuomo's basically taken Hillary Clinton's losing campaign strategy and said, oh, this is going to be my playbook. Why?
Also, is that Zohran Mamdani's brother? That has to be Zohran Mamdani's brother, right? He looks exactly the fucking same. I'm talking about the guy on the right, obviously.
Are you supporting Zoran?
He's just kind of standing for the right policies that are focused on the cost of living and just like getting people what they need in the city. And I think that's the most important thing right now.
Listen, if you make the city too affordable, the rich people aren't going to be able to afford to live here.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't give a duck. I already have it.
Shut the fuck up, you parasite.
Oh, but thank you for trimming it. Much love. But it's already on the board.
That's a really big problem, honestly. I haven't considered that up until now.
I mean, listen, if the poor people can afford to live here, then the rich people won't. You got it. Why are you excited about Zoran?
Well, because I'm a young person and he makes me feel like I have a voice in the city that I love. And
hang on, what's that?
And shit and rolled in breadcrumbs. How the fuck is she driving this motherfucking car like this? Motherfucker on the ground. Look at that back. Not a strut or shock on that motherfucker. Well, I be dipped in shit and rolled in breadcrumbs.
Is that a nice thing? I'm not Phil. I'm not sure that's a nice thing. I'm really not convinced on that one. Fucking hell. Oh. Curtis is the Asian Aaron Bastani. Oh. But do you care, Kev? I care too much.
And belong in, and also because everything's getting really expensive and it's pushing out people that are underrepresented, and so I feel like we need to kind of bring back diversity, push back on what's the word? Gentrification and kind of
hyper-gentrification.
Yeah. And so I think the rent freeze would definitely like make people.
No, I think that's the joke, is that Aaron Bastani is the Asian Aaron Bastani. I think that's the joke. That's why I laughed, because it's funny. Like, I do that sort of joke all the time. You know, they call me the white Nelson Mandela. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Doesn't need to. It's fine.
People feel like they don't have to push out of the city, even if they lived here for so long. You know, because you have like people from different cultures who've been living here for so long, and now they feel like their city's no longer theirs.
Cuomo is talking about how Zoran Mamdani led a very privileged life.
Hello again, we're live from the Glasgow Science Centre talking to all the party leaders north of the border, and joining us in our studio now is the leader of Scottish Labour, Kezia.
Scottish Labour. Scottish Labour.
As opposed to Cuomo, who was the son of the governor.
When they say eat the rich, I don't think they're talking about like somebody with like a lakefront or whatever. They're talking about like the billionaires who can spare so much. I mean, like if you compare like 1 million to 1 billion, it's like a great difference. You know, I feel like taxing, people with more wealth than you can imagine.
There's a gym in the West Village that is $10,000 a month. You can look it up.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, just mention that anytime they talk about New York City not being affordable for the rich.
It just keeps going. What is this, a Cuomo deposition?
Oh, that's a fucking burn, man. Solid work, my man.
I was gonna go to the end of the line, but I can't find the end of the line. Hey! Yeah, this. Holy shit. Tell me what you love about Zoran.
Education.
Oh, educators for Zoran. Yes. Yeah, okay. I was just at a Cuomo rally, and he wants to make everything charter. School choice, school choice, school choice. Do you have any opinions on that?
Public education's backbone of democracy.
Okay. Yeah, because he had a whole thing of, well, it should be more charter. We should expand charter. I wonder what your specific opinions are. There's no wrong answers.
Yeah, I think things like the New York State law limiting class sizes that's a great place to put resources, and charter schools is like a great way to skim off resources from the public system. So public schools administered by the Department of Education seems like the model to go.
Thank you. Yeah, that's been one of my bigger issues, is the anti-school choice initiative. You here for Zoran?
Yeah, I am for Zoran.
Okay.
Okay, we believe that the rent is too high.
Okay.
Oh, yes, that gives me an opportunity.
Mr. McMillan, would you like 30 seconds more?
Allow me to introduce myself. I represent the rent is too damn high party. People are working 8 hours a day and 40 hours a week to some a third job. Women can't afford to take care of their children, feed their children breakfast, lunch, and dinner. My main job is to provide a roof over your head, food on the table, and money in your pocket. This is politics as usual. Playing a silly game. It's not going to happen. The rent too damn high movement, the people I'm here to represent can't afford to pay their rent. They're being laid off right now as I speak. They can't eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Listen, someone's stomach, child's stomach just growled. Did you hear it? You gotta listen like me.
Okay,
Let's
Mr.
talk
McMillan.
about the issue. People
Mr.
can't afford to pay their
Cuomo,
rent.
30
Stop.
seconds for you, sir.
Rent is too damn high.
It is too damn high. Oh, come on, don't be...
Welcome to the New York gubernatorial debate.
I'll be your DJ this evening. Take it away.
I represent the rent that's too damn high party. People working 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. Some a third job. Why? The rent is too damn high. The people I'm here to represent can't afford to pay the rent. Cause rent is too damn high. The people being laid off right now can't eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Only a governor like the father of my house can put everything in control. The bottom line is the economic state of emergency is the way to go. The way to go. Go. This will reduce the cost. You cut the rent down. You cut the taxes down. To give business owners the chance to hire people. To give business owners the chance to hire people. That is it. Nothing else to be said. In the subject, there's nothing else to talk about. Some say I'm a one-inch mechanic, but it all boils down to one thing. Rent. It's too damn high. The people I'm here to represent can't afford to pay the rent. Cause rent is too damn high. The people being laid off right now can't eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Only a governor like the father of my house can put everything in control. The bottom line is the economic state of emergency is the way to go. The way to go. Go. Rent is too damn high.
The rent is too damn high.
Too damn high.
Rent is too damn high.
The rent is too damn high.
Too damn high.
Too damn high. Too damn high. Too damn high. Rent is too damn high.
The rent is too damn high.
Closing statement.
As a karate expert, I will not talk about anyone up here. Listen, someone's child's stomach just growled. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? Gotta listen like me, because our children can't afford to live anywhere. Once again, why? You said it, the rent is too damn high.
True.
Mr. McMillan, what's your position on gay shoe marriage?
Rent too damn high, party fee. If you want to marry a shoe, I'll marry you.
He married his shoe. Fuck yes. Go on, lad. What the fuck? Curtis, we're not, this is not the new system. Okay? Where you DM me and then tell me to look at my DMs and it's some fucking nonsense. Apparently, they're watching. Curtis from the Turning Point Lefts, is watching the thing, this stream on the TV with his girlfriend, who apparently thinks that the rent is too damn high. Guy's beard looks like a pair of bollocks. Jim McMillan is with the Republican Party. I don't think he is. I really don't think he is at all. It does. You're fucking monsters, all of you.
It's a fucking disgrace.
And there's a mafia here, a monopoly of buildings, and it will continue increasing if the city doesn't do anything. We believe that we need the state, the city, and the federal government to place a plan funding new housing, building new apartments for poor people like us. Okay? Yeah. I believe that Zoran can help with us with that problem.
And that's why you're supporting Zoran?
Yeah, support Zoran.
Instead of Cuomo?
No, not Cuomo. Cuomo belongs to rich people.
And sex pest. He's a sex pest. That is a thing what he is.
Belong to us.
It's hilarious that the people protesting at the Zoran event are still advocating for Zoran.
We need to fix the housing problem.
Yeah.
Hang on. These are the people protesting against Zoran. What? That's mental. That's mental. Hang on, hang on, what the fuck? That don't make no sense. Hang on. Oh, pardon me. I regret to inform you, chat, that Jimmy McMillan, former hero of the channel for being the chairman and leader of the Rent is Too Damn High party and a living meme, is a cunt. McMillan announced his candidacy for the Republican nomination for president in 2016, but withdrew from the campaign on December the 9th. He subsequently announced he would be retiring from politics before endorsing Republican candidate Donald Trump. Is he anti-trans? Probably, but I mean, yeah, don't have heroes, kids. Just don't.
Very, 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 very cringe. Very, very, very cringe.
Why can't people just not be dickheads? Is that so fucking difficult? Is that too much of an ask?
Everybody should have a decent place where to live, not too expensive or according to their income.
So you're just voting for him because he's going to make your life better?
It's not just my life. He's gonna make everybody's life better. I'm voting for Zohran because Zohran is fighting for the middle class people. He's fighting for the affordable New York. He wants to make the buses free, right? People, the middle class people, that is exactly what they want. The city is so expensive, it is really, really hard to live.
You could say that the bus fares are too damn high. You know what, I'm the one coping now.
You are coping and seething.
That was for me. That was a self burn.
In this kind of city, right? So that's what Zohran is working for, to make.
Although Liverpool beat Villa 2-0, that's full time. Fuck yes, let's go. Hell yeah, Indian Cheng. You take that back. This guy's awesome, and Cenk Uygur is a fucking a Palantir populist.
Make the city affordable. Zohran will be the mayor for everybody. Unlike Kumo, who's running, Sliwa, they'll be like catering to only their bases, right?
Can I ask you why you're volunteering?
I volunteer because I believe that New York City deserves to be a place where everybody can afford to live.
Awesome.
Communist.
How can people volunteer?
People can volunteer by knocking doors, by phone banking. Connecting with our neighbors, that's how we're going to win. So that's
Is Vermin Supreme okay? Yeah, Vermin Supreme's still cool. He's alright.
how we're volunteering.
And that's what website?
ZohranForNYC.com/events.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Tell me why you're here.
Because I want fast, free buses. No, but I do. It's unaffordable. It's getting to the point where people are leaving. I grew up here. I was born and raised here. I want to stay, and I want to,
You want to be able to afford to.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So freezing the rent, I'm all for it. I know, right? Walter, come here, talk to Amelia. We're so excited to meet you.
I said, why are you supporting Zohran?
Well, if
That's the reaction I get. People always recognise me and go, "Oh, that's him. Oh my god, meh. They're forever autograph hunters. Honestly, it gets too much at times.
If rent is frozen, that means that I can volunteer and show up and do more things in my community, because my expenses will be fixed, which means I can do work that pays like shit and actually show up. So that's one of the main reasons.
Yeah, you don't have to work 80 hours a week.
I would like to work less jobs and do quality work for people who I love and care about. That's kind of what it's about.
I'm really excited that there's someone who gives me hope, and I think a lot of my friends have hope.
We don't need hope. We need
to increase the police budget, luxury
We need
skyscraper.
more red berets on the subway, right?
Yes.
Feral cats. I love that.
Yeah, Zoran wants these city-owned grocery stores where it's going to be cheaper.
Yeah, I
and
actually got into an argument about this while I was canvassing this last weekend. Is he hated the city-owned grocery stores, and I had to explain to him that we actually have already subsidized grocery stores, so like it's not even that crazy of an idea.
I mean, there's also state-run liquor stores.
Yeah.
There's plenty of places that do state-run liquor stores. Big Marxist Kansas has state-run grocery stores.
Yeah.
You know, Kansas, famously.
I've heard there's a lot of communists in Kansas.
Yeah, famous communists over in Kansas.
Yeah.
Zoran has all these policies that he's mean tested in the pilot program. If he was a true Democrat, he would be setting up a commission to study the policy.
Socialix, that wouldn't work in Birmingham. Hey, that's the guy next to the bins and the rats. Everyone in this fucking city is the guy next to bins and rats. That's not a unique experience for me.
And pilot program. And then the commission wouldn't pass any real policy. Does he even know what he's doing? Really? Where'd you say you're from?
Yeah, I'm Palestinian.
That's a little anti-Semitic. So they lived there, and then they didn't live there for a very long time, and then they moved back. It's kind of like Andrew Cuomo.
I'm gonna move. This is an extra. This might be one of my favourite interactions ever.
Real policy. Does he even know what he's doing? Really? Where'd you say you're from?
Yeah, I'm Palestinian.
That's a little anti-Semitic. So they.
That's a little bit anti-Semitic.
They lived there, and then they didn't live there for a very long time, and then they moved back. It's kind of like Andrew Cuomo.
Exactly. It's like Andrew Cuomo, they're not native to the land.
Yeah. Tell me why we're supporting Zoran.
I'm a member of the New York City Democratic Socialists of America, and I have known him for a very long time, and it's so exciting to have a Democratic Socialist mayor, someone who's going to fight to freeze my rent as a rent-stabilized tenant and make it affordable for me to live in the city in the long term, and hopefully fight against oligarchy across this country right now, because we need people like him and not the same old corporate Democrats who have defined our party for too long. We need new leaders like him, and I'm really excited to be supporting him and canvassing for him and whatever I can do to work towards a democratic social.
Yeah, that is true, actually. Yeah, that phrase is used very differently in the two, in New England and Old England. Very, very different meanings. Can you hear that? Is that coming through on the thing? That's so fucking stupid. Like, actually, fuck off. Fucking dickheads, man. Damn my Boston terminology. No, that's fair enough. Like, I ask that my American audience are okay with my use of the C word because of cultural sensitivity. So the fact that you're using that word in a completely different context is fine. That's not a problem. Thankfully, there's no racism in anywhere in New England, so it's fine. None whatsoever. Absolutely dandy.
Future.
It's been scary watching Trump take such an authoritarian turn. We've seen ICE agents indiscriminately rounding up undocumented immigrants. We've seen Trump go after his political enemies. We've seen Trump go after free speech. Late night hosts. It's very scary for me as a comedian because I haven't been on Kimmel yet. And right now we need someone who's going to stand strong. We all know Cuomo will kiss the ring. He kisses everything.
Whether he gets consent for that or not.
A message for you. Something is changing in New York. You can feel it in this room. Zoran Mamdani has brought all of us together around a single powerful idea that New York
Communism. Oh, I'm such a knob. Why do people watch this?
City should be a city for everyone.
We are here tonight because we are ready to turn the page on the cynical, broken politics of the past. We are ready to build a city that works for the people who actually make it run. Working people, the teachers, the nurses, the drivers, the home health aides, the firefighters, the police, not just for those at the top, but for working people who built this city from the ground.
Honestly, the sign says our time has come, and so have I. It's going to start getting cold soon, though, to be fair.
There is something special in this room tonight. It's power. It's the power of hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers united, ready to usher in a new day. It is the power of a movement that won the battle over the soul of the Democratic Party, that put Andrew Cuomo's vision of austerity and smallness firmly where it belongs on a ballot line no one's ever heard of. It is power larger than any single person, working together for a New York where dignity is delivered to all. And it is the power of a campaign that for the second time in 5 months stands on the precipice of victory.
Fuck yeah. He has to win, because it'll be so fucking good. You know it's going to be the most mental reaction. America has fallen! No, the Islamo-communoids have taken over. And I'm very much here for it. I'm thinking about maybe putting together a copium compilation. For old time's sake. When it's appropriate, I have a raid suggestion. By all means. By all means. I don't know why, but this has popped into my head now, and I don't know. I'm not sure why. Yeah. Erica Trump. No, sorry, not Erica Trump. Erica Kirk. Still trying to drain the last drops of blood from her husband's corpse for grifting purposes. No one will ever replace my husband, but I do see some similarities of my husband in J.D. Vance. Are we talking length or girth? I wonder. Real Radham is a comrade. Yeah, I love Real Radham. Yeah, I've got no problem with raiding into Real Radham. 100%.
"3 weeks from tomorrow, we will win again." That is only possible because of you. This campaign has built the largest volunteer effort of any in New York City history. There are 3,200 people in this theater tonight. And alongside all of you, there are over 80,000 more across our city. In Brownsville, in Parkchester, in Flushing, and right here in Washington.
in Brownsville. That's pretty racist. You set up an entire place just for brown people to live. That's segregation. When is election day, Kev? I think, is it the 3rd? I think, maybe. Flushing. Yeah, Flushing Meadows. That's where they play the US Open tennis. In Flushing, New York. I don't know if it's called that because of toilets. I hope so.
Washington Heights.
Yeah, isn't it hilarious that Charlie Kirk's being cucked from beyond the grave? I've heard of the cock chair, but the cook coffin? Very strange.
New Yorkers who have knocked doors, phone banked, and registered voters, day after day, week after week, month after month. You have worked this hard for one simple reason: to fundamentally reimagine what is possible in New York City. Now there are...
Oh, it's the 4th. Okay, so in 3 days then.
Some who oppose that vision. Billionaires like Bill Ackman and Ronald Lauder have poured millions of dollars into this race because they say that we pose an existential threat.
To which I say to them,
shut the fuck up, you parasite.
And I am here to admit something. They are right. We are an existential threat to billionaires who think their money can buy our democracy.
good man.
We are an existential threat to a broken status quo that buries the voices of working people beneath corporations. And we are an existential threat.
The governor of Louisiana wants to put up a fucking statue of Charlie Kirk.
Wank!
Brownsville is 64.4% black. See, it's just racist, New York. It's just racism, okay? You're just the racialisms.
To a New York where a hard day's work isn't enough to earn you a good night's rest. And we are absolutely an existential threat to disgraced politicians like Andrew Cuomo, who diminish public trust, harass women, and are unabashed in their desperation to collaborate with Donald Trump and his donors. Let me be clear. This is not a moment for capitulation. We are in a period of political darkness. Donald Trump and his ICE agents are snatching our immigrant neighbors from our city in broad daylight, right before our eyes. His authoritarian administration is waging a scorched earth campaign of retribution against any who dared oppose them, against the courts that dare hold them accountable, and against our trans and queer neighbors for simply daring to be themselves.
Gay is in, gay is hot. I want some gay, gay it's gonna be.
And again, Trump has broken the promise he made to the American people, that he would fight for the working class by taking on the cost of living crisis. Over the last 9 months, we have witnessed the largest wealth transfer from the poor to the rich in history. Trump is like Andrew Cuomo. beholden to billionaires and oligarchs. And like Cuomo, he has bent to their will.
Oh, so did someone mention Cuomo?
You really are the most devious bastard in New York City.
And Cuomo is.
The desolation left in his wake has been staggering. Tens of millions of Americans, including millions right here in New York, will lose their Medicaid, their Medicare, their SNAP benefits. Because of Trump's corruption, children will go to sleep hungry. The sick will die. Any way you measure it, our lives have gotten worse. I think of the pastor I sat with just a few weeks ago in East Flatbush.
Hopefully it wasn't Pastor Wright, because that didn't work out well last time. God damn America! Actually, I need that on the fucking soundboard.
He told me how in September, a young woman from his congregation approached him after church. She told him she was facing a deportation order. He knew her well, and he knew the work she did with young people with disabilities in this city. She told him she couldn't afford an attorney and had no one else. She asked if he would go with her to 26 Federal Plaza. He said yes. Sitting in the courtroom, the judge told her to be ready to leave in the clothes she was wearing. He asked her if she had said goodbye to her family. She began to cry. And
I mean, 255, unironically, Mr. Streamy does believe this. Is it time to stop the small boats? Yes, they should have massive boats. Literally, yeah. They should have safe and legal routes to come here and be allowed to travel on a ferry. Yeah. Literally my actual policy. But also, again, this is a violation. Look at this drawing of me. I look like a fucking hillbilly. Look at me. I look like if fucking Billy Ray Cyrus after a fucking Twinkie binge. Have a word. Fuck's sake.
then, in what felt like a miracle, the judge changed his mind. He decided he would put her TPS order before the deportation order. For a minute, it seemed as if the danger had passed. But the pastor knew that ICE stood outside. They did not care.
Fuck off with your Jeremy Beadle fucking references, man.
You just assaulted me.
Fuck's sake. I'm being absolutely fucking roasted.
About a court order because they do not care about the rule of law. He turned to a few court watchers in the room and asked them to go outside first. He asked another man to hold the elevator. He picked up the young woman under her arms, opened the doors, rushed her past ICE agents, into the elevator and down into a waiting car before speeding off back to Brooklyn. Through it all, her feet had never even touched the ground. He told me that it felt like the Underground Railroad. And still he knew she was anything but safe. We are living in the times that we read about. I know that for many of us, when we look back at moments in history that rhyme with today, where tyranny loomed and the state imposed violence.
What rhymes with today? Too gay.
Gay is in, gay is hot. I want some gay, gay it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Violence with sinister glee, we ask ourselves what we would have done. We need not wonder.
No, I am getting your pastor jokes. I'm angry. I'm angry about the Jeremy Beadle references. hurts. It hurts me deep down to be compared to that monster.
That time is now.
There's a Jeremy Beadle song. What? Is it a song he did or a song about him? We all hate Jeremy Beadle.
The whole world is coming together. Now is the time to unite.
The wall has been pulled down forever. The future is sure looking bright.
There's freedom for Nelson Mandela.
Agreement between black and white. For he's a jolly good fella. Everyone's seeing the light.
After decades of fighting and friction,
the message is easy to see.
Whatever our lack of conviction,
there's one thing that we all agree.
We all hate Jeremy Beadle. We think he's a tedious bore. We all hate Jeremy Beadle. We really can't take any more. His show is a total intrusion. None of us like it a bit. The whole world has reached a conclusion. His program's a big part of.
Fuck yes.
And I am proud to look out onto this crowd at New Yorkers who, amidst this despair, have continued to believe in a world better than this. With every block walked, every petition signature earned, you have refused to normalize.
Yeah, exactly, Shocks. He was the first to do prank videos. The lamest of all videos. He invented evil. That's like congratulating the first murderer. Oh, well done. Was it Cain or Abel? I don't know, whichever one from the Bible. You've invented murder. Well done. No. It's not a good thing. I am suggesting that Jeremy Beadle's career was as bad as murder, yes.
A politics of cruelty, of greed, of exploitation. You have asserted your power. We see that power when nurses and teachers...
You keep Mr. Blobby's name out of your fucking mouth. Mr. Blobby is a king, and you will respect him, okay?
And bus drivers, the hard-working men and women of organized labor, finish their shifts and go straight to a canvas launch. We see it when the same New Yorkers who walk to work dedicate their weekends to fighting for fast and free buses for strangers they will never meet. And we see it when grandparents whose children have long grown into adulthood fight on behalf...
Exit. You sound like someone from TV that I can't quite place. I get referenced constantly. I don't hear it myself, but people say I sound like John Peel, the radio guy. He did some TV, didn't he? Malvin Bragg. You think I sound like Malvin Bragg? The member of the House of Lords, Malvin Bragg. Lord Malvin Bragg.
You just assaulted me.
Unusual choices is that you've chosen as one of your 10 books of all time that changed the world, or 12 books rather, you've
This is Michael Parkinson, the other guy is Malvin.
chosen the laws of association football. Yeah. Why?
So this is who this knobhead in YouTube chat thinks I sound like.
Because I think it's a work of genius.
What is?
The laws of association football.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Explain.
Well, because if you've got a minute or two, and I know does it sit beside Newton, and does it sit beside Darwin, and does it sit beside Mary Stopes, and Shakespeare's in there, and Wilberforce is in there? Does it sit? Yes. I'm not saying it's of equal value in the scheme of things. I'm not putting a hierarchy, but I'm just saying, look. In the last 140 years, one of the great changes in the world, and I'm looking for changes in the world, then tracking back to books, is that masses of people have leisure. This used to be the preserve of less than 1% who had enough money and time to have leisure. People didn't have time off. And one of the great factors of leisure has been the development of sport. And
You think I sound like that? Really? Fucking really?
Are you sure about that? Half of universal childcare, so that a young family they've never met on the other side of the city can afford to stay here.
Hang on, Jeremy Beadle is buried in the same. He's buried in Highgate Cemetery. Is that true? He is buried. Fuck me, he's literally buried in the same place as Karl Marx. Yeah, he's buried in Highgate Cemetery. Well, fuck me sideways. Who else is in there that you might have heard of? Charles Chubb, the inventor of the Chubb lock. Catherine Dickens, wife of Charles Dickens. Basically, all of the Dickenses are in there. Okay, cool. Ugo Ekiag? What? Is he even dead? What? What the fuck? I didn't even know Ugo Ekiag was dead. Former England international Ugo Ekiag is not only dead, but buried in Highgate Cemetery. That's fucking mental. He died of cardiac arrest at Tottenham's training ground in 2017. Fucking hell. Well, that's meant. Bob Hoskins is in there. Okay. Michael Meacher, who's a guy I actually saw speak once. I forgot he was dead as well. Nicholas Mosley, novelist and biographer of his father, Oswald Mosley. I'm just looking through a list of dead people now. Frederick Tennyson, older brother of Alfred Lord Tennyson. Oh, and now we go into the east side. Fuck me sideways. Yusuf Dadoo, South African anti-apartheid activist. That's just a cool name. Didn't know who the fuck he was. Stuart Hall, Jamaican-born Marxist sociologist. I can't see Karl Marx's name. And Roger Lloyd Pack. Fucking Trigger. Trigger is buried with Karl Marx. Not in the same grave, of course, but you know. Ed Miliband's dad, Ralph Miliband. Okay. Colin Redgrave, yeah. Or Corin Redgrave, even. Yeah, fuck me. Oh, that's mad. Well, there you go. I did not know Ugo Ekiog and Karl Marx were in the same fucking same gravesite. That would be one hell of a quiz question, wouldn't it? What do Ugo Ekiog, Karl Marx and Jeremy Beadle all have in common? And now we all know the answer, don't we, chat? Beadle's about in Highgate. I'm genuinely a little bit upset about Ugo Ekiog. I know he's a Villa bastard, but, you know. He played for England. They're all dead. Well, I mean, you can be a little bit more specific than that, Dingus. Fucking hell. If you're enjoying my death-related content, but you want me not to starve to death, especially because I can't afford a fucking plot in Highgate Cemetery, you're mental. You can do bits messages and subs and memberships and super chats and all of that sort of malarkey. Malcolm McLaren's buried there too. Okay. There's some famous motherfuckers in there. And lots of people who you probably should know but don't. There were a lot of people on that list I was like, I've never heard of this fucker. And he was probably quite important in his day. But, you know, he died 100 years before my grandparents were born, so who gives a shit? Ugh.
With this much darkness, it takes courage to light a new path. As Thomas Sankara...
That was... He's about to reference Thomas Sankara. He's not living down the Marxist allegations, is he? Based as fuck.
Takes courage to light a new path. As Thomas Sankara once said, fundamental change only comes from the courage to turn your back on the old formulas, the courage to invent the future. Together, that is exactly what we have done. For too long, we have been told to be satisfied with abstractions and strongly worded letters. To be content with a politics built atop the flimsy foundation of only that which we are against, without ever declaring what we are actually for. To accept leaders who would sell us out to the highest bidder.
No, Malcolm McLaren
That is
is
not what
dead,
this movement is, nor will it ever be. We know what we are for, and we will not cower. A movement by the people and for the people answers only to the people.
Fuck yes.
Epic dub.
So, with 22 days until the polls close, let us say what we believe loudly and clearly for the world to know. We believe in the wealthiest city, in the wealthiest nation, in the history of the world, that working people deserve a dignified life.
I don't think it's performative. Like, don't get me wrong, he is also performing, but I don't think he's doing it to be performative. I think he genuinely does care and wants to do something. Whether he actually can do anything, I don't know, but, you know. Like, he's out here literally quoting Thomas Sankara. That's a thing that would have been unthinkable 5 years ago. Bernie Sanders had to run away and be like, oh no, I said one good thing about Cuba, ever. Oh no, let's disavow. The Overton window is shifted quite a lot, and that's good. That's a positive thing. I understand some people are cynical, and that's fine. At McLaren's funeral, one of the Pistols might have been Cook, who eulogised him by saying, "Malcolm, you owe me £100,000.
We believe
He probably did.
that buses should be fast, and we believe that housing is far too expensive. We're going to build hundreds of thousands of affordable homes, take on bad landlords, and freeze the... And we believe that daycare shouldn't cost as much as a year's tuition at City College. That's why we're going to deliver universal...
Nice, he's got chants and shit going down. Love it.
These are not just slogans. These are commitments. We say them not simply to inspire, but because it is what we will deliver. We believe in schools that receive the investments they need, infrastructure made resilient to the growing effects of the climate crisis, and a budget that fully funds our parks and libraries.
Oh no, libraries. You could throw a big fucking raging party down on the seafront, but you want to invest in fucking libraries. Geek.
We believe in public safety that actually delivers safety and justice. We can make this a city where no one is afraid to walk the streets or take the subway. A city where our police officers focus on serious crimes, and it is mental health professionals that address the mental health crisis. In New York, we believe in standing up for those.
It's so adorable that you thought that was going to be a counter to what I said. Libraries don't just have books, Kev, they also have manga. Nerd! You're making it worse for yourself.
Those that we love. Over the last 9 months, we have watched the man with the most power in the world expend enormous energy targeting those with the least. Whether you are an immigrant, a member of the trans community, one of the many black women that Donald Trump has fired from a federal job, a single mom still waiting for the cost of groceries to go down, or anyone else with their back against the wall, your struggle is ours too. Make no mistake, ours is a movement where we know exactly who and what we are fighting for. We are not afraid of our own ideas. For too long, we have tried not to lose. Now it is time that we win.
Fuck yes. Let's go.
And I know that since we won on June 24th, there have been some who have questioned whether that we aspire towards is possible. Whether the young people they speak of as the future could also be the present. Whether a left that has critiqued could also be the left that delivers. To that, my friends, I have a very simple answer. Yes.
I see you.
And to those who doubt, who cannot quite believe, who share our vision but fear allowing themselves to hope, I ask you.
You almost didn't recognise me without the curly locks. Yeah. I don't do gradual haircuts. I just let it grow and then gone.
When has dignity ever been given?
True.
Same questions asked of us were asked of organized labor.
Libraries gave us power, then work came and made us free. What price now for a shallow piece of dignity? No, I don't think I have anything for that. Just
epic dub.
I can't just play that every 5 fucking seconds.
We're asked
Or
of the
can
civil
I?
rights movement. We're asked of any who had the nerve to demand a future they could not yet see. Could they not wait? Could they not see that they were asked?
Was that a Beadle quote? No, those are the opening lines to a song called Design for Life by the Manic Street Preachers. Was that a Beadle quote?
You just assaulted me.
Asking too much. They knew that we do not get to determine the scale of the crisis that we face. We only get to...
Guess which is the most objectively beautiful library? Berlin. I don't fucking know. What are you talking about? I don't know which library. I don't know where you're from. So what am I supposed to do with that? Is it in the Netherlands? That's a point. With how mental the Dutch language is, are Dutch books just really, really long? Like, imagine the fucking Dutch translations of Dickens' work. Because Dickens' books are fucking dense, man. They're so long. A Dutch translation of Dickens would need, like, volumes. You couldn't do it in one book. It would be mental. Wow, those are very expensive graves. Yeah, I definitely can't afford to get a fucking a thing there, no. I've said before, if I die, just put me in a bin bag. Well, actually, assuming the fucking bins are ever back on in Brom, just put me in a bin bag. They collect on Fridays. It's a lot cheaper. I'm just a bit of meat at that point. I don't fucking care. Trinity College Dublin, that is a beautiful building, actually, yeah. Absolutely. It's the one in Harry Potter. It is, yeah. I mean, it's also the place where huge, literary behemoths were inspired to write and to, educate it and stuff. But yeah, the Harry Potter thing as well.
Decide how we respond. We know that every great victory must be won because it will never be given. When organized labor won the weekend so that working people would have time to rest, that was power won, not given. When those who came before us marched for voting rights and civil rights, they triumphed because they dared to dream, not because they were given permission by a political establishment content with the status quo. When millions of seniors were lifted from lives of poverty with Social Security, that's because Americans were sick of a...
But the problem with that is, Rachel, you say you want to be mummified ancient Egyptian style and displayed in a natural history museum forever. Well, that wouldn't... What could happen, right, this is what we might do, is if you get, like, mummified and, like, buried for a few thousand years, the British Museum will absolutely dig you up and steal you and put you on display. because you're American and therefore it's not British stuff. And there is not a single, not a fucking single foreign item of cultural or historical worth that the British Museum will not steal if it can. To quote a very, very true meme, the only reason that the pyramids are still in Egypt is because they're too big to put on a boat. Yeah.
A bad deal and wanted a new one instead. And the New York we love was made by those who refused to settle for less. Great leaders like Fiorello LaGuardia taught us that aspiration is something to embrace, not something that we treat as a crime. When we shake loose the shackles.
Stockholm Public Library. That looks a little bit like the kind of, it's a kind of more modern version of the British Library's interior. With the kind of arched thing and the, yeah. I described that brilliantly. You wouldn't guess it that I talk for a living, no. He's a sellout to the Democratic Party. What, Mamdani? What? Like many of the major Democrats still are like refusing to say they'll vote for him. How is he? Don't be like that. Like, if you don't like his politics, that's fine, but don't lie. Or not necessarily lie, but like twist the truth. Let's say, like, he is running on the Democratic ticket. He is more of a shitlib than I would ideally like, but he's not a sellout to the Democratic Party. Like, he may do so. If he gets in, he may do so. Fine. He can't stay consistent when it comes to Gaza. What? He's still saying he would arrest Benjamin Netanyahu if he came to New York. I mean, some people are just never satisfied, I guess. Or not even satisfied, because you shouldn't be satisfied. Actually, I'll take that back. You should never just be satisfied. That's complacent nonsense. Some people want the perfect and let the perfect be the enemy of the decent, at least. Yeah, he's not fucking perfect. No one... Look, no one who would fit, like, genuinely socialist politics could get elected in New York. Or to any major fucking place in America. This is about as good as you're going to get given the current zeitgeist. Honestly, take the chance, New York, for the love of God. I did know that, Exit, yes. And you're new here, Exit, but you might be interested to know that I'm both a studied historian and an Irish citizen. I don't live in Ireland. I'm not from Ireland, but my family are. And so I am aware of various things to do with Irish history. That's fine. You didn't know that. That's fine. You're new here, but I'm just... Where is your hair? In the bin, basically. Yeah. The Stockholm Public Library is a Swedish architectural icon. Okay. We don't need the music, I don't think. Well, this isn't even video format. That's a still image these being zoomed in on. Is there actual fucking video footage? Again, that's a still image. This is not a video. This is fucking... This is Ken Burns filmmaking. Now, he had to do that because there were only still images of, you know, the Civil War or early baseball, right? So he has to take a still image and zoom into it, or pan across it, or zoom out, or whatever, to make it look like movement. Whereas the people of Stockholm definitely have film. I've seen footage of Stockholm, so they definitely have film there, right? And have had, presumably, for many years. This is not a fucking video. It's a beautiful building. Okay. I'm just going to say this, right? That is an ugly ass building on the outside. That is an ugly ass building. It's very nice on the inside. We've already seen that, but the outside is munted. It looks like an old fucking, I don't even know, a church or something, or fucking, I don't know, some religious thing. It's fucking horrible. Schmunted. Show us the inside. Yeah, we've seen the ugly as fuck outside. Let's go inside, shall we? Ooh, someone's feet. That's definitely what I wanted to see. Here we go. Fuck yes. Oh, that's dopeness. It's a panopticon of books. Each book looking after fucking grassing on each other book. This is the police state for literature. That's actually pretty fucking dope, to be fair. Are there other rooms? Is it just one big fucking room? Oh, there's, holy shit, oh, there's fucking layers. Oh, it's like a fucking cake. Good lord. Look at all the books. Fuck yes. That is pretty dope, actually, to be fair. Okay, you know what? I've seen enough. It's a good library. I don't know about the facilities necessarily, but it's a good looking place indoors.
Of small expectations. Our city builds parks and hospitals, and we show the world that ambition and compassion are in fact intertwined. In an age of darkness, New York can be the light, and we can prove once and for all that the politics we practice need not be one of either fear or media.
Get the phone joker in there. I always wonder that. You know, with Dom Jolly, the Trigger Happy TV. I have to show Americans what I fucking mean now, because presumably that didn't translate at all. It was comedy from Britain in the 2000s or whatever. It was culturally relevant because mobile telephone communication was becoming a thing. It would help if it wasn't muted. Fuck's sake.
Yeah. No, I'm in France. Yeah, I'm in France. Yeah. Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah. No, it's rubbish. Yeah. No, bring it back. Yeah. Ciao. Hello. Yes. Yeah, no, I'm just getting a skinny cappuccino latte! Molto grando! Yeah! Yeah, it's great! Yeah, ciao!
Anyway, that was the joke of one of the sketches, regular recurring sketches in the thing, right? And I always wonder with that guy now, Dom Jolly, because look, he's mainly known for, hello! You know, that's his thing. When his actual phone goes off in public, and he has to answer it, does he get self-conscious? Is he like, Do people look at him like, is he going to do the bit? Is this the bit? Are we being filmed for the bit? And then he just has to answer like, yeah, hello, yep, yeah, this is Dom Jolly, yeah. Oh, hello there, Jack. How are you? Yeah. No, yeah, you were going to ring me about the thing, yeah. Okay, you know, you know what? We'll text about it, yeah. See you later. Boop. Like, yeah, he just has to have like a normal ass conversation, just on the tube. Kev, no one answers their phones anymore. Well, he's old enough that he might. I don't know.
Mediocrity. That power and principle need not live in conflict in City Hall.
What the fuck? How is there a news story? TV star Dom Jolly says his giant phone from Trigger Happy TV was stolen from an Amsterdam museum. Why was it in an Amsterdam museum?
Hello, everybody. I don't know if you remember, about 2 weeks ago, I posted on here that the big mobile phone from Trigger Happy TV, I've been asked to send it to Amsterdam to a mobile phone museum where they're having this big exhibition of the history of the mobile phone, and the big mobile was going to be like the centerpiece for it, and I was really excited. Well, less excited now. I just got an email this morning from the guy that runs the museum saying that yesterday, on the second day the exhibition was open, someone walked in, no alarms apparently, and just picked up the big mobile and left with it. So it's been nicked.
What is it with fucking European museums? Can you keep hold of any things? Honestly, the Louvre looking less silly now. Just saying.
For we will use our power to transform the
Hello? Yeah, I'm just stealing a massive fucking phone from Amsterdam. Nah, it's shit.
Principled into the possible. In 12 days, New Yorkers will begin to cast their ballots. We will vote for our next mayor, but more than that, we will make a very simple choice.
We're nearly through this, chat. We're nearly through it. Let's just stick with it.
Between democracy and oligarchy.
Oligarchy.
A choice between a...
Don't make me play... Oh, I have to play the oligarchy song now. He said the word, chat.
No one ever says those things out loud, but it's obvious. Yourself. It bleeds, it leads.
If it leads, it leads.
I think that's propaganda.
Twitter permanently suspended his account after he exposed hypocrisy and fraud at CNN.
Project Veritas, a very controversial conservative group.
He has subsequently been fired from this organisation, though, so, you know, that's fun.
The Times reported that the footage from Project Veritas was part of
according to Stanford researchers, a coordinated disinformation campaign.
They sued the New York Times for defamation. Project Veritas just won a major victory in that case.
Come to you and offer you $100 million. You're not going to settle?
I would tell them to go to hell.
I just can't believe that my face is on TV. Oligarchy, am I left to right? M-O-G-O-E. Oligarchy. Do I have faith in truth? Does truth have faith in me?
James O'Keefe is suing Twitter for defamation.
Project Veritas taken down because they confronted a Facebook executive.
Take a video like that down, it would be due to a doxing concern.
I can show you a video of CNN doing the exact same thing.
Twitter made factual statements about our client that are false.
Oligarchy. Twitter, CNN, Zuck is working with Dorsey. Oligarchy. Make believe.
Absolutely ridiculous human being. I'm glad he's basically politically dead. That's cool.
City you can afford, or more of the same. A choice between a mayor who works for those straining to afford groceries or those straining to buy an election. A choice between the hope of a brighter future and a broken past. For years, in the words of Dr. King, we have been asked to wait for a more convenient season.
True.
We have been told that change is not yet quite possible, that it's not yet our turn, that it will come soon enough. We've been told to wait as our friends and neighbors have moved away, told to wait as our city has only grown harder to afford, told to wait as a good life has drifted out of reach. My friends, we are not afforded the luxury of waiting, because too often to wait is to trust those who delivered us to this point. We can demand a government that makes our lives better. We can tell billionaires that this city doesn't just belong to them. We can tell Donald Trump he cannot buy this election. And we can tell Andrew Cuomo that New York City is not for sale.
Dom Jolly as Kurt Slewa.
Gentlemen, welcome to the Tube. My name is Aaron. I am a commander in the Guardian Angels. This tube is now under the control of the Guardian Angels. There will be no violence. You are all safe. Does anybody have a problem with that? Okay.
The next station is Piccadilly Circus.
Everybody okay?
Oh.
Everybody's safe. Wow.
Oh, you just worked that out, exit. Hello.
So on the evening of November 4th, when the world learns that we have won again.
Epic dub.
I cannot wait for him to win. It's going to be fucking delicious, honestly. The meltdown from the rightoids is going to be fucking sexual. Oh.
They will know our answer to the question. We choose the future. Because for all those who say our time is coming,
Oh, this is a violation. This is a fucking act of war.
You just assaulted me.
It's like you want me to ban you. It's like you're literally asking me to ban you, John. Actual size. Yeah, the rats. Yeah, that is actual size, to be fair. Yeah. What do you mean, what did you do? You posted this fucking meme? What? Someone mentioned Yankee Tanky in chat. And? You didn't have to fucking... You didn't have to finger me again.
my friends, our time is now.
Yeah, yeah. Bit of a weird note to end on, in all honesty, but there we go. This is the world we live in. Come to terms with it. Oh, it's been a weird one tonight, chat. It's been a weird one. What's this? Oh, that's a... Oh, for fuck's sake, I just saw it again. I didn't need this. You're a fucking wrong 'un, I'm telling you. Are we going to raid Real Radham? Yeah, we can raid Real Radham, absolutely. Good morning, Sunday morning? What? No, well, unless you're in... If you're in Central Europe, it's Sunday morning, but it's... Yeah. How old is Zora Mamdouh? I don't know, actually. Let's have a look. You only have to type in Z into fucking what you call it to get Zoran as an autofill. He's 34. He's younger than me. Oh, I'm so decrepit. Oh. He was born in 1991. Oh, fucking hell. Usually you'd have to wait at least another 40 years before being elected as a Democrat. Well, that's depressed me, chat. I hope you're happy with yourself. I wish I hadn't known that. I mean, I will still be voting illegally for him many more times across all 5 boroughs of New York City. Sorry, New York City, as I believe the locals refer to it. Anyway, I'm going to send you over to Left of the Box, who was in yesterday, were they in today? I'm not sure if they were. Yeah, go and check out that. How old is OAC? I don't know how old OAC is. Let's have a look. So, OAC? AOC. Fuck me. She is 36. She's younger than me as well. Oh, fuck off. Dickheads. Go over to Left of the Box and be cool. Yeah, we'll go to Real Radham on Twitch. Don't worry. I'm saying on YouTube, we'll go over to Left of the Box. You know, I've been on stream with Real Radham before, right? When we talked about the Australian general elections. Because, like, you mentioned this person like I didn't know who they were. How old is Charlie Kirk? He is dead years old. Oh, that's another 7-day ban, I'm sure. For telling the truth. Anyway. Oh. I know, I sorted that out. Oh, did you? Oh, I can't really. I did. It's fucking ages ago. Anyway. Everyone go and say hello to Real Radham, who is fucking awesome, and I'll see you all tomorrow, 6 PM with Curtis. I might do a football stream before that. I don't know what games are on early, but I might do. But if not, the 6 PM with Curtis, your No Justice MTG replacement bus service. Yes. Free Palestine. No passing around.